Hello there, fellow Dazzlers and newcomers alike. I hope you enjoyed that little thing I thought I would play. That was the finale from the Firebird. Let's see. That specific take was performed NYP Boles. Okay. Let me see. Here we go. This particular recording was made by CBS Records in the 1950s and was recorded by Pierre Boulez as he guest conducted in New York Philharmonic Orchestra. No particular meaning for that in this game. I just thought it would be appropriate because I've heard word that this is it, my friends. This is going to be the end of Major Minor. Exciting times. If you're just joining us, what are you doing? What are you doing joining a stream that says Finale Edition? There's way too much backstory for me to explain to bring up to date on what exactly is going on. But basically, this is it. We are going to meet King Velasquez, and it's time for our player character to meet his fate. We're probably going to run into Nagi and Nami again and deal with whatever that's going to bring us. So let's not waste any more time, and let's get going. Although, why is Kilo with me? Oh, that's right, because it was just I just talked to him in the afterlife or whatever that was. That little in between worlds thing. My eyes slowly open and I examine my surroundings. I know where this is. The Wayfarer's Tavern. A sharp pain pulses in my abdomen and I grab at it. I notice a large bandage is present, dried with blood. But it must have been phantom pain as it subsides. Flashbacks of the ballroom bombard my mind. I shake my head in an effort to push them away. I didn't need to be reminded of that right now. I bring myself to a sitting position. I let my feet touch the ground beneath the bed. The cold of the wood makes me shiver. I feel dizzy at my sudden movements. Moments later, the door opens, almost as if they heard me shifting around. Wow! It's good to see you up again. You've been out cold for almost a week. That injury, we thought you'd be dead. He laughs it off and gives me a smile. A great example of bedside manner. Hey Conrad, get in here. Your special friend is moving again. PB rests his back against the wall. After a few seconds, I hear someone run up the stairs. Sure enough, it's Conrad, panting softly as he enters. PB, you better not be... He cuts himself off the moment he sees me.
Razzle, I can't believe it. Almost everyone said that you'd die. But I can't lose you just yet. I can't.
He runs to the chair beside the bed and sits down.
I still need to get you to Velasquez. Your journey here is far from over. But don't move too much, you're...
I cut him off and let him know that I'm fine. My body's just a little stiff from the lack of motion. No way. A woman like that needs time. In fact, why are you even sitting up? You'll make it open back up or something. I don't know why they're so paranoid. Much to their objection, I stand straight up. Conrad puts his hands out as if to brace for my fall. But I look at the both of them, telling them I'm fine. They look at each other confused. Did they expect my condition to be worse? Is defying death something you do often? You got stabbed clean through, you know. There was a literal hole in your body. There's no way in hell you should be alive. And nobody has given me any details. Almost everyone has been silent so far. I guess what Rio said was true. He really did save us from Nami and Nagi. But at the same time, I can't disclose this to them. They'd probably pass off the arc as some hallucination. A weird vision due to my blood loss. I couldn't expect them to believe me, but at the same time, I'm thankful. Rio really did have my safety at heart.
Well, he is the savior, you know. Never short of surprises, this one. Besides, the mystery man was right. He said Russell would survive. I'm surprised none of you believed us.
Fine, you win. Good thing I didn't place any bets. Hang tight, I'll send him upstairs. PB leaves the room and heads downstairs. Mystery man, what do you mean by that? I step back down and look at Conrad.
Well, a lot of us don't remember. Claire's residence is a big blur. After everything ended, we woke up here. PB had to fill us in on everything. We were brought here by a stranger. Some random man saved our lives. He said he tended to your wound. He told us you'd lived through it. But I was the only one that believed him. It's nice to know he was right. The other people were starting to get to me. Pessimism can do that. You know how it is. I just didn't expect it so fast. A wound like that should take months, if it even heals up at all. there is one thing I've learned, it's that nothing is impossible. You can leave Terra after all. Everybody says that's impossible, but the world doesn't mean it can't be done. It's more like, it deters us from trying. So I expect you to prove them wrong. It seems like you're good at that.
He smiles at me and I start to wonder. This mystery man, could it be? The pieces start to fit together in my mind, but there's no need for my mind to do any work. Before I continue thinking, he enters the room. What's up, bitches? I haven't done that for a while.
Oh, here he is now. Russell, why don't you thank him? You owe me life after all.
Oh, I believe there's no need. We have a sort of an arrangement. Wario holds his hand up towards me. It's like the other times, but this time it feels different. Even after leaving the Ark, he still follows me? There'd be so many places he could go instead. But here he was in the real world. Excuse me. No longer held back by a prison or the Ark. He'd be free to do whatever he wanted. And I thought it was both terrifying and reassuring. Come, Razzle. You have a royal ball to attend, and some final truths to unveil. The throne room. It would seem the time has come, Dusk. I must make my final preparations. What would you have me do? Surely I can help you, my liege. I can hear the voices from outside. I didn't expect this many to come. I'm afraid I'm getting a little nervous. It's natural, I'm sure. This is a big day for you, Velasquez. Soon you will reveal everything. I can only hope for a positive reception. Perhaps that is why I'm scared. I have no way of knowing how to react. It's different from no other speech. Don't overthink like that, my lord. Focus on poise. Speak loud and strong. You're in the highest position of power. You need to focus on how you say things. It's more important than what you say. I suppose you're right. As usual, you have a way to calm me. I'll choose to focus on my demeanor. That's a good idea, Velasquez. It would be bad to show them fright. In turn, they'd be scared as well. Your bearing transfers to your subjects. A happy king creates a happy world, and that's something you must remember. Creating a happy world. Yes. I'd quite like that, Dusk. Thank you again for your input. It's an honor. Is there anything else I can do? I suppose we can't delay this further. Please, go ahead and open the gates. We must prepare for a very special guest. Chapter 9. The Bonds We Forge.
You mean you two know each other? I thought you were just some stranger.
I guess you could say that's still the case. I've been less than forthcoming until now. But to answer your question, we do.
I'm sensing some kind of story here. You haven't been lying, have you?
I shake my head. Of course I haven't been lying. I just didn't think that anybody would believe me. The story of the Ark and my destiny are quite strange.
Well, go on, I'm listening. You can't just leave me hanging.
That's me this entire game. I'm afraid we might have to, Conrad. You wouldn't understand the truth. It's quite a complex situation.
Don't belittle me, man. Just start with the basics. I'm more capable than you think.
Wario lets out a huge sigh, likely of annoyance. He probably didn't want to explain things to Conrad, especially after he just finished doing that with me. Or did the timelines not add up that way? I guess he still has to train Acheron. That means more time may have passed for him. Either way, he doesn't seem interested in talking, but he is disinterested to stop Conrad from trying. It's a long story. But me and Velasquez work together. We've been partners for quite a while.
That's bogus, Rayo. I would have seen you before. I practically lived in the castle.
Well, it's not that simple, Conrad. I'm not exactly what you call a Terran. I watched over this world from far away.
Come again?
That's all I'm willing to say right now. I worked with Velasquez for a long time. You could say we ruled Terra together. I believe that Kayleen found this out, probably why he was sent to Player's prison. Velasquez just wanted to keep me a secret. I was what you'd call a scapegoat. It's thanks to me that Razzle is alive. I was able to stop Nami and Nagi too. But if my existence was made public, well, I'd probably be dead right now. Then there would be infinite suffering. So I hope you can forgive Velasquez, Conrad. Keeping Kayleen quiet saved the world. Having him talk would have been catastrophic.
Roddy mentioned that, didn't he? Sad, Kayleen had some royal secrets. Secrets that could ruin King Velasquez.
Of course, that's far from the truth. Velasquez isn't up to anything sinister. Your friend just had an undying grudge. Oh.
I knew it! Velasquez isn't evil. I didn't even believe what Riley said. He said that Velasquez was an employer. It was just a trick, wasn't it? To catch any Mayan off guard. That way he can make his move.
Exactly. He wanted you to blame Velasquez. He planted seeds of regicide within you. I guess he thought you'd kill the king. At that point, he'd offload Player, then the throne would be his to take. Quite admirable, I'll give him that. Wow, what a magnificent bastard. I know I try to keep the airways clear, but oh my god. Riley, just trying to play everybody. But Player was his puppet no longer. Riley's ambitions died alongside him. That's what happens when you serve yourself.
Speaking of which, where is Player? I haven't seen him since the ballroom.
I gave him a good head start. He said he wanted to get away from this, start all over again and make a new life. I wasn't in my nature to deny him, so I guess you could say that Player is dead. He's starting over as a new man.
Until someone manipulates him again. It's a stupid thing to do, Ryu.
Perhaps. But that's all I'm going to tell you. You know that Velasquez's goal is honorable, and Razzle will help make his vision real. I'm sorry that you lost your friend. I'm sorry that you went through all of this, but it couldn't have happened any other way.
Whatever, it's fine. Thanks for telling me what you did. Now I know Velasquez is clean. So I guess it's time to head to the ball? I heard he's going to make a big speech. Probably has to do with you, Razzle.
I wouldn't doubt it, actually. His secrecy made people doubtful. They started to think he was evil. But if he opens up to everybody, perhaps their minds will be put at ease. We're working towards a better future.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't curious. So we should stop wasting so much time. If we stay here, we're going to miss everything.
Words of wisdom, Conrad. We wouldn't want to be late for this thing. After all, Razzle is the guest of honor.
Alright, let's get downstairs then. People will want to see you, Razzle. I all thought you were dead meat. And thanks for being open with me. I didn't mean to accuse you of lying. It just seemed a little far-fetched.
Conrad smiles at me as he leaves the room. I can hear him descend the stairs with heavy steps. It's true. He did make friends here. Perhaps it's time to say goodbye to them. When you meet the king, this will all be over. He leaves the room after giving me a slight bow. I can't believe this. It is finally coming to a close. Everything I worked for, it's happening today. I guess it really is time to say goodbye. I leave the room and follow after both of them. It was time to see how this would all play out. Time to say goodbye. And that's like all I know. I just know. Aye, there's no need to be mocking me, Conrad. I had a lead and Sultan at that. In the end, we were both correct. Kellen was put in prison to keep quiet. However, he didn't have what I thought. Velasquez isn't plotting anything nefarious. I don't think either of us are wrong. In fact, we saved Kellen's life. I just wish it went a little smoother. Riley crosses his arms and looks at Conrad. It's clear that Conrad was rubbing this in his face. His entire quest to expose Velasquez was falling apart. Yeah, there's no need to fight about this. That's not what Kebu would have wanted. We need to honor the losses we've endured. You're right, I'm sorry. But at least our goals are now aligned. We want to learn what Velasquez is up to.
And that won't be hard either. Apparently he's going to tell everybody. That's the point of this royal ball. No one will have to fill in the gaps. All the rumors will be dealt with. About time if you ask me.
For once I agree with you, Conrad. Velasquez's silence hurt them in the end. Made it seem like he has something to hide.
Well, he kinda does. But it's something noble, I'm sure. I can't wait to figure out what it is.
Oh my god, this voice is killing me. I know there's someone calling out to Reddy. His attention is immediately directed to the bar. Excuse me, Razzle. It appears that Fidget wants to see me. I think it says something about a drawing. Oh, but first, I nearly forgot. Welcome back to the land of the living. It's nice to see you up, Razzle. With a quick nod, he exits the conversation. It seems like everything is back to normal around here. Everybody's getting ready for this royal ball, a huge counterpoint to what it was like beforehand.
You know, Reddy's a nice guy, but he was too nice to become an assassin. My days with the one way numbered as well. After all this is said and done, I don't think there'll be a need for me. Assassins will become a thing of the past, but maybe the world will be better off. Guilds can end up robbing new friends.
He looks over to the bar in deep contemplation. I'm not sure what he means, if he means any Mayan or righty. But at this point, I guess it doesn't matter.
I suddenly feel the need to get a drink. I'll meet up with you before you go. But I just wanted to say, I forgive you for siding with Righty before. It made sense from your point of view. I can't hold that against you anymore. Consider yourself forgiven, Razzle. You can't have any bad blood at play.
Well, thank you. He makes his way towards the bar and Righty. Perhaps he had some mending of his own to do. Last I recall, those two are rivals. It's amazing. They seem almost unaffected. Even after everything that's happened, it's like they detached emotionally. Kaylee turns to address me. It's the first time I've ever spoken with him. Oh, sorry, did I say something wrong? I have expected you to agree with me. Either way, at least I'm not like them. I still see Kaboo when I close my eyes. I'm not as quick to forget, it seems. I might take a step back from all of this. But if you really do save us all, perhaps there won't be a need for guilds. I'll be free to live my life my own way. And that makes me feel hopeful. Living life by my own set of rules? I couldn't imagine anything greater. I wish I could have done it with Kaboo. He was a helpless victim of circumstance. He didn't deserve to experience any of this. I noticed Rio standing not too far away. His ears perk up when he hears the name Kaboo. I'm sorry that you lost your friend. I wish things could have been different. Trust me, it's not like I wanted this. It's okay, Rio. This isn't your fault or anything. I just wish it were me instead. He was so bright and full of life. But I embraced my death a long time ago. Nothing of importance would have been lost. Trust me, Kaylin, you're important. But I do feel a little responsible. Your imprisonment was indirectly my fault. Velasquez wouldn't have done it otherwise, but Nani and Niggy are powerful foes. We needed to keep my identity hidden. Besides, we have Razzle here. It might be possible to bring Kaboo back. With such power, we can do anything. Really? Well, I can't say for absolute certainty, but I experienced just a fraction of it. The power within Razzle is near infinite. Reversing all of this just may be possible. But we need to defeat Nami and Nagi. Otherwise, they just get in our way. I see. Would you join me for a drink, Kayleen? I'm parched, but in need of company. Perhaps I can tell you a little more. He walks towards the bar, assuming Kayleen would agree. I guess he did deserve to know a little more, though. After all, he was directly affected by Kaboo's death. Conrad even got more information than I expected. What an interesting guy. But it's not like I can turn him down. He knows a lot more than he lets on. I remember the first time I saw him, I was scared, at a loss for words. I had no idea what I was saying. But now he helps me feel at ease. It's the exact opposite of before. I thought he was evil, but now I don't. After saying this, he follows Raylo to the bar. It seems our experiences were both the same. Rayo is almost a completely different man to us. At first, I had no idea what he's up to. In fact, Velasquez was in the same situation. His secrecy caused the people of Terra to doubt him, but he was just about to open up, just like Rayo. Today was a turning point for the history of Terra. Velasquez would finally tell the world of his dream, and then I would help him achieve it for everyone. I look upwards towards the bar and am surprised by what I see. Conrad and Righty are laughing and sharing drinks. Rayo and Kaylin are engaged in an intense conversation. Just the other day, I would have never expected this. Things are changing. That fact is now concrete. Right now, however, only a few people are affected, but soon enough it'd be the entire world of Terra. A load of bogus, if you ask me. Save the world, bring back the dead. Not even Rayo can make up his mind. I want to get your hopes up, Razzle. This power might not be what you expect. Only believe what Velasquez directly says. PP approaches me from behind and startles me, but I actually agree with him. Not even Rayo knew what Velasquez truly wanted. I'd have to treat what he said as pure speculation. Like, there's just so much in the air, and I still don't really trust Rayo. This is all just convenient for him. He's definitely holding something back, but I have no idea what it is. Normally, I'm better at getting a read. Or maybe my own dishonesty is reflecting. I haven't really told you everything either. There's a couple secrets I've hidden. Wait, did you say secrets? Sam must have heard and proceeds to intrude. Wow, everyone involved was currently at the tavern. I guess I'd be getting one hell of a send-off. Go away, Sam. Nobody asked you. You're not making any money off me today. This is personal business, nothing sellable. I'll pretend I didn't hear that, PP. Every piece of information can be sold. You just have to find the right buyer. PP clenches his fists and fumes with anger. You know what? Never mind. It would have been productive anyways. There are more pressing matters at hand. You're going to the ball, right? I managed to secure a carriage for you. Some local townspeople will take you there. You'll be visiting the castle in style, but the savior should settle for none less. You'll surely turn heads when you arrive. Wait, a carriage and townspeople? Does he mean something like a rickshaw? Yeah, it's a symbol of status. Don't worry about it too much. You just have to travel light. Mario has already pleaded with me, so you only have room for one more. The rest of us are going to stay behind. We don't want to make you feel pressured, but we're expecting you back ASAP. Then you can tell us what Velasquez wants. We'll all share drinks before this is over, but for now, just relax and enjoy the ball, with whomever you choose to take along. He means you have to take a date. If I could be so bold, I suggest myself. I did save you from that cell, after all. The castle must be loaded with secrets. It's not every day they open the gate. This is a huge opportunity for me, Razzle. If I went with you, I'd blend in more. You take the attention away from me. As if he was listening, Conrad barges in.
Now listen here, you little vixen! Sam expects you to take her to the ball? Yeah, right. This has always been my duty. Razzle, I have to take you to the king. It's been that way since day one. I have to finish what I started. This isn't what any man would want. I need to see our goal completed. There's so much at stake here.
Don't be deceived by his words, Savior. He's after the money just like I am. Velasquez promised him lots of cash. I doubt he actually cares about you. I'm just more transparent about it. No matter what, it's just about the money.
That's not true, Razzle. I don't even care about the money. I just want to see this through together. I want the king to see me successful. I want him to know that I helped. And I want to do it with my friend.
They both stare at me expectantly, so it'd be me, Rayo, and one of these two. I contemplate for a few moments before answering. I'm gonna go with my homeboy Conrad. I don't trust the Boobalicious Fox Lady. I told Conrad that I want to go with him. We started this together. We'd end it the same way, and then there's that too. I mean, Conrad went through so much to be here with me, so I'm gonna take him with me. Come on, cornball.
That's what I thought. I'm so excited to see this through. I'll meet you outside as I'm ready.
Well, that's unfortunate. I'd say you made a huge mistake, Razzle. We could have had so much fun together. But I guess it won't happen this time. Still, come back in one piece, alright? I think you have quite the story to tell. They both walk away in different directions. Sam goes to the bar, Conrad goes upstairs. It seems he's happy that I chose to go with him. It just made the most sense in my opinion. Well, I guess we'd be meeting outside. I turn the door and start walking towards it, but before I can, Reddy calls out to me. He ran from the bar to catch me before I left. Wait, hold on a moment. You can't just leave me yet. But he catches his breath before continuing. This is particularly important to him. Fidget won't me to give this to you. He's a little shy, so please forgive him. I told him he should do this himself. He hands me a piece of paper that's folded up. My name is written on it. Was this a present? I should have best look at the bill. Not all of us are going to be there. I have my own reason for staying behind. Probably to keep an eye on PB and Fidget. I nod at him and let him know that I understand, but before I can look, the paper Fidget approaches. Hey, Razzle. I'm here. I'm happy to see you're safe. A lot of people said you wouldn't make it, but I knew deep inside you'd be fine. I just wish that everyone else was fine. I heard about what happened to the others. It's sad when people have to go like that. I nod and look at the both of them. I start to unfold the paper, but Reddy interrupts. I'll be leaving you two alone. But as I said before, good luck. That's a run on me when you get back. Fidget looks a little uncomfortable without Reddy. He shifts from side to side, avoiding eye contact. Sorry, helps me feel less shy. I didn't expect him to walk away like that. But I did draw a picture for you. You're free to look at it if you like. I think it might be my best one yet. A slight blush appears on his face as I open the paper. He was right. It was his best one yet. It's a drawing of me with Indy, Mayan, and Kabu. We're holding hands, wearing big smiles on our faces. I hope I drew Kabu correctly. Reddy only told me that he was blue, so I had to make up the rest as I went. I got the idea after talking to Rayo. He said you might bring them back. That's why they're all so happy. You're all so happy. And that's exactly what I think that's exactly what would happen. No one would have to be sad anymore. That's what it would be like with Mom. Hey, Fidget. Hey, Razzle. I thought I'd come see you off. You're the talk of the tavern, you know. Trish enters the conversation with a wide grin. She probably noticed I was talking to Fidget. As far as I remember, these two always stayed close. Hey, Trish. I was just finishing up. I wasn't skipping lessons again, I swear. That's okay, Fidget. No need to worry. Today is quite a big day, isn't it? I wish I could go to that royal ball. Yeah, it would be really cool. I'd love to meet with the king one more time. He'd definitely know where Mom is. Trish laughs nervously and rubs the top of his head. We can run along now, Fidget. I need to talk with Razzle. Make sure you say goodbye, though. Goodbye, Razzle. I hope you have lots of fun at the ball. I'll be here waiting when you get back. He runs off excitedly and Trish lets out a sigh. I could tell she was holding something back all along. Listen, I'm gonna be blunt here. Rayo told us all about your role. He said you might bring back the dead. I never could have said this beside Fidget, but we all faced it a long time ago. His mother has been dead for a while now. He's never been able to accept it, though. He always had one fantasy or another. Instead of telling him we play along, we could never stand to see him sad. Telling him the truth would crush him, but with you, things might change. If what Rio said was actually true, could you please bring back their mom? I hope that's not asking too much of you. I shake my head, telling her that it's fine. If the power was within me, I'd bring everybody back. Trish wouldn't have to worry about Fidget anymore. Thank you so much, Razzle. It breaks my heart to see him like this. He draws his mom every day, too. He says he'll show her when she gets back, but we all know what the real situation is. She'll never get to see what he did. That is, unless you make it a reality. She walks away with a smile, returning to the bar. Everybody here was counting on me for something. I couldn't let them down. I had to succeed. I turn to leave, hearing the sound of revels behind me. I guess my next stop was the carriage and then the castle. As I leave the tavern, one final fact draws on me. After this, I might never get to see my friends again. Alrighty. When I get outside, I immediately notice the carriage. My mind snaps back to Tokyo when I first saw the limo. Yeah, it seems that stylish travel looks different in Terra. Well, I mean, yeah. I take a breath of fresh air and smile. I sure hope things ended the way Rio predicted. And in the suffering and the resurrection of our friends, that would surely be a worthy end to my journey. It feels like it's been a lot longer than it really has. There's a part of me that was eager to see this end, but a part of me that didn't want to let go. I don't know which way was winning the fight in my head.
Hey, sorry if I kept you waiting. I had to talk with everybody first. It's weird. Since we're coming right back. At least, I hope we are. I don't know what Velasquez has planned, but I know we're in for one great party. But regardless of my goal, I'm glad I could attend it with you. We'll have fun before you see Velasquez. Anyways, I'm sitting up top. You can sit in the back with Rayo. I'm sure you have lots to talk about.
He pats me on the back and jumps on top of the carriage. I guess he'd be giving directions to the drivers. Moments later, Rayo exits the tavern doors. Wow, it's awfully bright out here. I don't think I've ever been under the sun. I'm not really sure how to describe it. But I know there's a lot I haven't done. I guess now I'm free to try everything. Just like Zootopia. And it's all thanks to you, Razzle. He gives me a warm smile before walking to the carriage. I wonder how long it would take to get to the castle. Would you care to join me? I'm sure we can keep each other company. No shortage of things to talk about. After saying this, he enters the carriage. I follow behind him, climbing in the back. The carriage is much bigger on the inside, just like the limo. Flashbacks to the limo right to play even more in my head. Mario is sitting comfortably on the one side in silence. I take a seat if I were you. Shouldn't be standing when we start moving. You don't want to hurt yourself. He gestures at the open seat in front of him. Without pause, I take a seat and look towards him. Not sure how long of a ride we have. I've only visited the castle in suspension. I've never left Velasquez's throne room. I never thought he'd live to see this day. He watched over Terra for millions of years. To think that change would finally come. I can't possibly be more excited. Everything is about to come together. This day will be remembered for eternity. Talk about putting pressure on me, Rio. Velasquez will be quite happy to see you. He's been waiting for a very long time. I expect he has quite the feast ready. It's not too often that he opens the gates. The last time was the Exodus project. Of course, it didn't go as planned. The carriage shakes as we start to move. I'm reminded of when the train started back up again. Rio crosses his arms, unaffected by this change. That's a depressing story anyways. What else is there to talk about? I'm open for anything, really. I have a few more ideas now that he's being open, but the number one thing on my mind is his past. How did he really come to rule over the art? Where is he from? What was life like before? You want to know about my past, huh? You really are something else. Always taking an interest in others. My bond with Rio was strong enough. I suppose I could tell you a little bit. My memory is a little hazy though, so I'll just start with what I remember. I was created by Velasquez a long time ago, likely as a failsafe against Nami and Nagi. I'm positive that he thought this through. I mean, how could I harness the power? It's likely that I'm a living weapon, able to tap into it like their blades. They didn't know about me or expect me, so they carelessly unleashed your power. And they thought they'd won so easily. Using your power, I sent you back. But this is where things get confusing. As you relived events, you got stronger. So I had to work with that in mind, meaning there's another truth to be told. I sent you back more times than I can count. Every time you did, your power grew. Unfortunately, many people suffered repeatedly. Your journey hasn't exactly been easy. But you've been through so many cycles, made so many choices, met so many people. It was nice to watch you change it up. Every cycle had potential to be different, but some aspects were set in stone. Mainly the fact that people died. But these experiences made you stronger. Your power is far greater than it was, like a grain of sand becoming a desert. Unfortunately, it hurt me to watch this. I watched your friends die countless times. Sometimes it was Rook and others Keela. But Clace and Rocker always perished, along with Edimai and Kabu. You came close to dying several times, too. I watched Nagi stab you over and over, but every time I sent you back, I grew your power for almost an eternity. I had to be certain you were strong enough. In the end, we'd only get one chance. If I broke the cycle, we couldn't go back. So if you're hoping for another chance, you won't be getting one in the end. It's over if your power isn't strong enough. He just keeps revealing more and more. So I've been stuck reliving that cycle as well? From what he explained, I was thousands of years old, stuck in an infinite loop to grow my power. Okay. So where did I come from? Like, was I just, like, plucked off the street, or... You know what? 20 bucks says I was created by... What's-his-face? Velasquez, somehow. Kind of just dropped into Earth, and then the whole thing with the contest happened, or whatever. I must have witnessed almost every single possibility, but this raises a lot more questions than it answers. Velasquez will have to tell you more, such as how you got the power to begin with, and when you're responsible for nurturing it. But enough about that, we're here now. We don't need to think about the past. The future is what's most important to us. I know this, so you dodged my question yet again. Is he lying, or does he truly not know his past? Well, I mean his past for this infinite cycle. Perhaps it's been so long he forgot about himself. You might be wondering about what I said. I told everyone you could revive the dead, of course. That's just a theory. I've witnessed so much death and rebirth, and I've only received a portion of your power. I know you can bring about change. I think we need to eliminate Nami and Nagi. Then maybe you could go back in time. We could change history without any worry. They've been a fixed point on this timeline. But if you're going to erase their existence, then we really could change things. But I'm getting ahead of myself. All I know is that your power is limitless. I told everyone what they wanted to hear. They're still mourning over their loss, some longer than others. They'll need hope in this dark final hour. A great change is coming to Terra. It may even affect more worlds. Archeron has a lot of work on his plate. I trained him for what felt like years. It took him a long time to learn. To be honest, he had a lot on his mind. He kept asking about Max over and over, but it wasn't out of worry or care. I think he wants to kill her, Razzle, but he can't do that no matter what. He can only visit her in suspended space. You must never kill anybody in that place. If someone dies in your suspended space, they're gone from history. They simply cease to exist. I hope Archeron takes his duty seriously. A grudge could cause extreme chaos. But this also supports my earlier theory. If someone can be erased from history, that just proves history can be changed. If we do that, we can prevent deaths. He definitely had a point, as weird as it was. He was so fixated on raising the dead, it made me wonder if he lost anybody himself, and his desire was being reflected in his speech. I quickly realized this is pointless speculation, especially since he can't seem to recall his past. The majority of his existence was spent helping me. In a way, he sacrificed himself for my cause. I'm so sorry for my little rant, Razzle. I usually come across like I know a lot, but honestly, we're on the same page. As he says these words, the carriage comes to a stop. We jerk back a little, caught off guard. Oh, right, I guess there's one more thing. I told you about the true nature of Terra. How it houses the souls of the dead. I lied to Archeon about the Ark's skills. I told him he could bring back the dead, but let's not make a big deal out of this. I told Archeon the truth as well. The salvation of Terra rests with you. You may be the one to bring back the dead. He was fine with this information, so there's no bad blood between anybody. Everything is finally out in the open. Without any explanation, he simply leaves the carriage. I jump out to follow, but I don't think I'm fast enough. I look in every direction once I exit the carriage, but for the life of me, I can't see Rio anywhere. Perhaps he just ran off to the castle on his own. He'd get to meet Velasquez for the first time, too.
Hey there, Razzle. It's a pretty sight, wouldn't you say? I see it all the time, and I still love it.
He gestures broadly towards the castle with a smile. Then a moment later, he jumps down from the carriage.
What do you say? You ready? We'll have to do our best to blend in. We don't want to skip the line or anything.
I nod and look up towards the castle. And it's true, it definitely was a sight to behold, like something you'd see in the history books. But this time, I'd be part of that history.
I can already see quite the lineup, too. We should get going, so we aren't late. I hate to miss the king's big speech.
He starts power walking towards the castle gates. I have no choice but to follow, so I run after him. After everything that happened, I was finally here. But we wouldn't get in without a wait. We stood in line of almost hundreds of people. It seemed like everyone on Terra was here. There was way more people than I saw back in Riley. Right, Riley? Whatever. With every moment, we got a little closer. I noticed a couple of guards standing at the gates. They're guarding someone who's greeting guests.
Wait, is that Leto? Leisho? I would call him Leisho. I've always wanted to meet that guy. He's a legend around here, you know.
It seems like Conrad is genuinely excited to meet him. In fact, I don't think I've seen him like this before. He must be a fan or something of that sort. I asked him for more information.
He has his way of reading you. He can predict your future or something. I've heard he's scarily accurate. I just never expected to see him here. Hey, Razzle, get us some money. I'd love to have him read our futures.
Wait, money what I pay him with exactly? I don't even know what the currency is on Terra.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I don't have any money either. Velasquez is supposed to pay me.
He crosses his arms and we continue chatting together. After we pass some time, we arrive at the gates. Sure enough, we're greeted by this Lacio. Alright, I gotta come up with a voice for this dude. Hello, citizens! Welcome to the castle. Velasquez welcomes everybody to his home. Today, we learn about the future of Terra.
That sounds pretty awesome, Lacio. I'm Conrad, this is Razzle. You might have heard about my friend.
Ah, so this is Razzle. Yes, Velasquez told me about him personally. Oh, excuse me. No specifics, just that he's important. But that doesn't place you above the rest. I'm here to do my readings of the future. Everyone needs to know what awaits them. Velasquez has promised a brand new start. So today, the readings are on him. Everyone is sharing their stories inside. We're looking towards a brighter future. He will be revealing the future of Terra, but I will get a little more personal. We'll find out what awaits you, too.
That's so cool. I can't wait to hear. I've always wanted to get a reading done. I'm really glad we didn't have to pay.
It seems like today, everything is free. Velasquez will no longer hold anything back. So who will get their reading done first?
Me!
Conrad leaps forward and offers Lacio his hand. So this involves him grabbing your hand? It's almost like Conrad knew exactly what to do. I'm glad to see someone so eager. A few people have been very rude so far, but either way, let us not wait any longer. Lacio grips his hand and holds it tightly. Then he closes his eyes and remains silent. I guess his reading required the utmost focus. I sense you're lost, Conrad. Perhaps things have changed for you. You're scared of what you might become. But there's no need to be afraid, my friend. In your future, you are very happy. Your adventure has only just begun. You're going to do lots of traveling. You'll make many notable discoveries. These discoveries will benefit the world, and you won't be doing it alone, so there's no chance of losing your path. The way you feel now is only temporary. I can tell you've lost a loved one, but they are not truly gone, it seems. They'll find new life within you. You might become more like them, or perhaps you've already started to. This person helped make you who you are. You might become more like them, or perhaps you already said that. Yeah, I almost thought we had another glitch, because he kind of just, like, rephrased things. I don't know if that's a palm reading thing, or... Conrad looks both happy and confused at what he heard.
I'm not entirely sure what he meant, but it seems like my future was awesome. I have no objections to anything I heard. I wonder what yours will be like, Razzle. Maybe our futures will cross paths. I'm pumped just thinking about it.
Wow, he's more eager than I thought. But I did forget to let you know, Velasquez requests an audience, Razzle. He turns to me and gives me a wide smile. He'd like to see you before his speech, so please get to the throne room once inside. That is, after I take your hand, of course. Out from my hand, just like Conrad did earlier, he grips it tightly and closes his eyes. He squeezes it a little tighter like it's not working. In fact, this seems more intense than Conrad's reading. He shifts in place a little bit, almost uncomfortably. I must apologize. This is difficult. Normally I can do this naturally, but there's just a lot to process here. I look at Conrad and we exchange awkward glances, but before I can speak up, Lacio pulls back. Well then, that was something else. Thanks for letting me read you, Razzle. Wait, what? I asked him what he saw. Enjoy your stay in the castle. Please see Velasquez as soon as you can. Let's not hold up the line any longer. The guards beside him open up the gates. We're pushed inside without any warning. I turn back, but they quickly lock us in. So much death. Well then. Well, yeah. Well, either so much death in my future, or maybe he just picked up on... Well, yeah, because, like, these type of readings I would imagine would be, like, past, present, future, so... He probably just picked up on... the fact that lots of people have died. I mean, we had, like, how many people die in this game? Like, 4 or 5 people die in our playthrough that we've witnessed personally, and then that cycle keeps repeating over and over again, so...
That was definitely weird. Maybe he didn't like what he saw. I never heard of a reader backing out. Not to make you worry, Razzle. Maybe he just noticed the long lineup. Rushed us in here to stay on schedule.
I admit, there's something off about Lacio. If he didn't like what he saw, that was an ill omen, especially given my role as the savior of Terra. I shrug it off. I don't believe in that anyways. Whatever happened next, Lacio could never predict, especially if Rio was right about my true potential.
looks just like it did when I left him. Sure wish anyone was here right now. Our mission, we finally succeeded.
He smiles as he examines the royal halls. It must feel good to get back. This is what he's been trying to do all along.
I guess everyone's going to the ballroom. I don't blame them, that's the best place. The rest of the castle isn't as pretty.
He points to where a crowd of people are walking. I guess there's where the real party would be happening.
Oh, but I guess you have other plans. You have a meeting with the king, right? I guess we can't waste time like they can. That's a shame though, it's amazing. It'll be full of people. If only we could put the world on pause.
I wonder if my meeting with Velasquez could wait. Conrad is definitely making the party sound amazing. Should I see the king now or ask Conrad to the ball? Dude, let's take Conrad to the ballroom. I suggest that we go check out the ballroom together. After all, this might be the only chance we get. After everything he said, it sounds awesome.
Really? You want to go with me? Sorry, that caught me off guard. Well, we are in a castle after all. I suppose we can get a little bit off track, especially if it's to show you around. Let's not tell Velasquez, alright? I wouldn't want to appear irresponsible. I might even have a drink or two. We've had bad experiences with ballrooms, but I'd love to spend some time with you. Let's hope things go a little better now.
He laughs and we start walking there together. As we leave, I look back at the grand staircase. After this, everything will come to an end. I go to the throne room and finally meet my fate. We enter the ballroom together and I look around. This place is massive. Bigger than I would have thought. It's packed with people, all wearing huge smiles. This would be the first time we've been inside as well.
Well, this is it. It looks different when it's packed. I used to come here to get alone time.
He explains the room to me in vivid detail. He points to different areas as he talks about them.
You can grab some food over there. I guess drinks are on the house today. The live orchestra is still preparing. So for now, the dance floor is empty. That's why everyone's off to the sides. I guess that's all there is to it. That's all there is to it.
Okay, I'm not gonna try to sing in the Conrad voice because that's gonna be really really hard to do. And this voice is hard enough already for me to keep going with.
What'd you like to do, Razzle? I'm afraid the good show is over. It's not that spectacular to begin with.
I suppose we just talk about whatever we can. That's what everyone else is doing, right? We can hang out together one last time. I'm sure you wanted to relax before the big speech.
Oh, you sure you don't have a thing for me? I mean, you're supposed to meet the king, but you'd rather spend time with me? Look at you, making me doubt things. This is a pleasure to go together. At least that's what I've been taught. But then again, this isn't exactly normal. We really even know each other, Razzle, but I swear the opposite feels true. We just met the other day in the forest, but I feel like I've known you forever. It's almost as if we've lived this before.
The orchestra starts playing, startling everybody. Ugh! Conrad's ears perk up as the dance floor gets crowded.
Sorry for rambling on like that. Things have just been extraordinary. I'm feeling so many things at once. You should probably leave the ballroom if you don't expect us to dance, and trust me, I'm not that good at it. I'll probably stay behind and grab a drink. You have an important meeting to attend to. I can't keep you behind like this anymore.
That's true, I did have an important meeting. Perhaps coming to the ballroom was enough of a delay, but it would be nice to relax before the end of this. Somebody tells me I have a lot of work to do. Conrad, you never seen V for Vendetta? It's not a real revolution unless there's dancing. However, I'd have time for a quick dance. I put my hand out and give Conrad an offer. One last dance before all this comes to an end. He looks at me awkwardly with a blush on his face.
Wait, are you serious right now? Like I said, I don't know how to dance. We just make fools of ourselves.
I gesture at the rest of the dancers in the room. Their moves aren't exactly professional either. It's likely they've never been on a dance floor. They're just making the most of this moment.
I guess you're right, actually. Perhaps we should give it a try. I've been described as graceful. Of course, that was about killing. So I guess it's different from dancing.
Oh, but you've never made a killing on a dance floor?
No, I'm just delaying, I'll admit it.
He grabs my hand and we walk towards the dance floor. We quickly mimic the motions of the other people. Conrad looks anxious as we robotically move about.
I hope they don't get the wrong idea. You know, because we're both guys. Terra's home the far worse than that.
Wait, what?
But I wouldn't do that with just anyone. Not even if anyone asked me to, you know? You're more special than most people here.
Yeah, but you're gonna be the only guy on Terra that can say, I got to dance with the savior. People on the dance floor group up a little closer. This pushes Conrad and I much closer to one another. I would admit, if I went with that fox lady, it would have been more awkward because she just, I don't know, I get bad vibes from her. But he doesn't complain, and we continue dancing.
In fact, you've left me conflicted. I have a little secret to tell you. It's been on my mind a lot lately.
He looks away from me, blushing slightly more.
This probably won't mean much to you, but if I was told to kill you, I couldn't, even though it's my entire way of life. That sounds sweeter in my head. What I meant to say is I like you. You're not like anybody I've ever met. And that's what I've been thinking about. It's like my assassin days are behind me. I haven't killed anybody since we met. And after watching Eddie mine die, I don't want to do that to anyone anymore. I guess I'm going through a sort of crisis. It's just, we've been through a lot. It's making me look differently at death. But then what else am I even going for? Maybe today will change my future too. Like I said, assassins may not be needed. And I must be thinking about Leisha's reading. He said something about an adventure, that I'd have a long journey ahead, and here I thought I went through a lot. But he seemed to know about Eddie Man. He mentioned that I lost somebody. He said I'd take after them too. I can't imagine a bigger journey than this. That must have been a really special feature. But he never mentioned King Velasquez. He wouldn't need me to kill anyone anymore. Does that mean he'll throw me away? I hope that's not the case, Razzle. Though I guess it's still all up in the air. Nothing is set in stone right now. Not until Velasquez makes his speech. But even if the future is so uncertain, I'd really like you to be a part of mine. You're really quite the unforgettable person.
Aww. The orchestra stops playing and the floor clears up. But Conrad doesn't seem to notice when we stay close. Oh, excuse me. I wish you the... excuse me.
I wish you the best of luck with the king. He's a really remarkable man, Razzle. I'm sure you'll be very surprised. You can tell me all about it afterwards. Maybe then I can talk to him about payment. I'll be able to afford a nice retirement. Perhaps that's the journey Leisha mentioned. Not every adventure has to be a hardship. It can be smooth sailing from now on.
He smiles and release our grip on one another. I guess the dance was over. The orchestra is done. We walk back to the side of the room for a final chat.
Don't be afraid to ask him to slow down. The king knows how to talk an ear off. Make sure you take in every single detail. Oh, and if you could do me one favor, ask him if he still has a use for me. I'd like to know what my future holds.
He walks away and starts mingling with everyone else, but through it all, he has a wide smile on his face. I suppose he enjoys seeing the halls full for once. With any mind gone, he needed a lot of company. I leave Conrad behind and walk back to the atrium. It's even more empty than it was before. Perhaps the sound of music lured people away. I examine the grand staircase resting in front of me. I place my foot on the bottom step and look up. It was happening. I had finally met the king. After everything I've done, it's led up to this moment. Oh. I thought somebody was knocking at the front door. It's somebody working on something in the house. I ascend the stairs, my mind hard at work. I imagine a million different scenarios in my little head. But soon enough, I know the truth about everything. What my power truly was and what Velasquez wanted. When I reach the top of the stairs, I see a large door. Clearly, this was the throne room of Velasquez. I go up audibly as I stare at its intricate design. It did a good job of making the inhabitant seem grand. I open the door with a large sense of hesitance, wondering what fate awaited me on all of my friends. Here we go. Wait, what? Dude, the location name. Going to Velasquez date X. In fact, I'm gonna take a screenshot of that. That's funny. Wayfarer's Tavern. I hope things are going well. I'm starting to worry, to be honest. Today is a big day for all of us. Kayleen, it'll be fine. You're worrying over nothing. I'd say to get this one in the bag. Besides, you and Ryder are both here. If anything happens, you'll protect us. We don't have anything to worry about. Sorry, I guess you're right. I've just been a little on edge lately. Being in this prison, and then in that big fight. Why didn't anybody come sooner? I sent mail for Endymion and Conrad. This is all that could have been avoided. Yeah. There's no point in worrying over the past. Remember, the future's what's important. Especially with what Razzle is doing. I really believe in him, you know. He hasn't even been gone for that long. But I can already start to feel change. I'll believe it when I see it, PB. And sorry, but I need to be excused. Some time alone would be great right now. What's cutting in ham? Oh well, I'm sure it'll be fine. Is everything okay, PB? Kaylee looked a little upset. I'm sure everything will be fine. But I feel like we did more harm than good. Especially with what we did for Riley. Well, he got what he deserved in the end. He won't be able to push us around anymore. True, but innocent people died. I'm scared it might not be over yet. Just then, a visitor locks on the tavern doors. People can't even read anymore. The sign says we're closed for the day. In disregard to PB's declaration, he knocked harder. Don't worry, PB. I'll handle it. Don't think they're about to stop. Fidget leaves his brother behind and goes to the door. They keep knocking. It must be important. I hope it's Mom. That'd be nice. Oh my god. Enough with the mom. Like, not him, but it's just like... That's so heartbreaking. He slowly opens it to greet the persistent guest. Ah, yep. Alright, let's add 3 more. Wait, no. Let's add... How many people in this tavern? We have Righty, we have Righty, we have Sam. I don't know if Sam left or not. We have Kayleen, and then we have PB. Yeah, I think 4 people are about ready to die. Hi there. Welcome to the Wafer. We're closed, but we'll help anyways. Is there something I can do for you today? This is a testament to Father's failure. Both a satisfied and enraged population. I'd say it's no longer needed, Nagi. Correct as usual, sister. And no, we don't need any help. But you're a cute pest, I'll give you that. Yes, it's a shame he had to get involved. Let's get this out of the way quickly, Nagi. I don't like killing the little ones. Well, I guess he really will get to see his mama. That was terrible. Oh. Chapter 10, The Future Recreate. I have to read the title. This experience is surreal. I don't know how to feel. After everything I've been through, I'm finally here. A whirlwind of emotion overtakes me and I panic. There are 2 thrones in this room, side by side. One is beautiful white, the other a dark black. I wonder, which one does Velasquez Terra from? I scan the room and take in my surroundings. There's a part of me that wants to find this room familiar. Of course, I accept that as an impossibility. There's no way I've ever been here before. I'm not sure if Velasquez is, and this concerns me, but as if the start of the door behind me stands shut, I quickly turn and see a man clad in royal gear. It's finally happening. This is Velasquez. After all this time, you're finally here. I started to think you might not make it. Please, offer me your hand, Razzle. He puts forth his hand and looks at me expectantly. It's not in my nature to leave a king waiting like this. I quickly put my hand forward and introduce myself. He has a firm grip, and happily leads the interaction. I know exactly who you are. There's no need for introductions today. If I'm not mistaken, you know me as well. He releases the grip on my hand and walks away. Moving towards the throne, I promptly follow suit. However, he doesn't sit, he stands between them. I was told you met Nami and Nagi earlier. That must have been unfortunate. Errant children often cause headaches. He rests one hand on one of the thrones in size. Errant children, what did you mean by that? I get the feeling I'm not in for a short discussion. Honestly, I'm not sure where to start. I've envisioned this day for a long time. But now that we're here, I'm at a loss. I'm sure you know the truth about Terra, or reservoir for the souls of the dead. My own personal heaven. Or hell. Things are a little more complex, however, and I'm sure you have lots of questions, but permit me to speak before you inquire. You deserve to know the truth of things, so I'll be nothing less than transparent. Please sit tight, and listen to my tale. The people know I'm not from Terra, but they don't know my true origin, nor the reason I've lived for an eternity. I come from a large federation of worlds, a galactic community living in harmony. Of course, this was millions of years ago. I can no longer be certain of the status. Terra does not exist in the same space, so I've been out of contact for a long time. Earth as well cannot reach out. We're in our own reality plane. Billions of these closed-off spaces exist. They are given complete autonomy. You could even say they get stranded, unable to return to the Federation. When I left it behind, it was hurting. We were in need of new sources of energy. So they looked to the brightest minds. They gave these visionaries world stones, the technology to create these planets, and the ability to shape their own reality. It was their job to found a utopia, and to create a new source of energy. Something that could help us stay afloat. And if they did make a new energy source, they'd use it to break out of their plane. They'd present this power to the Federation. But the power required would be vast. Breaking free would be a sign of success. Otherwise, they'd be stranded forever. Though, that wasn't really a bad thing. That was the secret nature of this project. If the Federation died, we would live. The catastrophe would not reach us inside, and we would only break out if we succeeded. It was a bit of a failsafe in both directions. Excuse me here, I think there might be a loud beep. No? Okay, I'm surprised. Caused a bit of stutter though. Yes, I received several of these stones. I used them to try and save the Federation. But instead I caused so much disaster. The first thing I did was create Terra, a place for me to hide if things failed, my own utopia away from harm. Then I had to create another world, a worldwide conducted experiment. After all, I was a Federation scientist. But I thought outside the box. If I created it, I knew I'd fail. I was uncertain and afraid. Our deepest feelings into our creations. I couldn't paint this canvas with doubt. If I did, it would quickly meet its end. So I created a sort of bridge, a place between worlds connecting them. Somewhat to experiment and watch from afar. A celestial observatory deck, you could say. Close, yet too far for collateral damage. That's when I took the next step in my plan. I used the stones to create two beings. They were made in the image of perfection. They wouldn't have the doubt that I did. You got a really odd sense of perfection with that kind of armor they're spouting. Their sole purpose was to succeed. Error wasn't in their nature. They'd surely carry out my goal. Yes, I created Nami and Nagi. I created Terra and the Ark as well, all using the power from these world stones. After that, I fixed the stones to a spear. It gave my creations a special gift, the ability to create a perfect world. They made what would become Earth. Standing on the bridge, they used the spear. They fulfilled the duty I created them for. But I learned perfection is fleeting, or at least sabotaged by our own curiosity. They wanted to know more about themselves. This desire for knowledge hurt the Earth. They started to neglect their duties. I had no choice. I had to open up to them. But they were not accepting of the truth. We were all thralls of the Federation. They said they'd rather not exist. I felt guilt for creating them. They only lived to serve the Federation, but instead of guilt they felt anger. I couldn't stand up to them. They embodied the power of the stones, but they held a weaponized version too. I begged them not to kill me, but they said they had far worse plans. They'd make the Federation suffer first. They wanted to see who was playing God, who was condemning people to these fates, even if it was for the greater good. I'm sure they would want to kill them. They'd seek to tear the Federation apart. They're convinced this was a just cause. So then they broke free. You see, their stones weren't living beings. They couldn't grow stronger with experience, but Nami and Nagi could, and did. I cursed the fact that I created them. My abstract thinking condemned us all. But they didn't just leave me behind. They engaged in nurture before they left, something that cursed me for what I had done. They used the spear to plague Earth. Disease, famine, death, darkness. They wreaked havoc on what we created. I broke the spear into 3 fragments. 2 of them are the weapons they carry. The third they hid away from me on Earth. They told me they'd return one day, after they met the Federation's leader. That's when they'd finish me off. They wanted me to suffer for eternity, watch Earth fall apart from their curse. I'd see my entire cause fall before me. They had the power to destroy the galaxy. They'd rampage in search of the Federation, and I'd never get that 3rd fragment. My creation would crumble before me. They would destroy the people I served, and then they would come back to kill me. At least, that's what they thought. Pardon me there, I had to blow my nose. Though not what you call foolish, I didn't give them all the world stones. I kept some to myself. A contingency plan. This time I did the opposite. I created a being to help me rule Earth. However, I didn't model them to be perfect. I would hold them to such standards. Wouldn't. But together we would rule over the worlds. They would call the Ark their home. Ryo was a fine ruler and son. He helped govern Nagi and Nami's curse. He was in control of the force of death. This helped Earth stay correctly populated. He could even prevent the spread of disease. He kept the balance of things in check. But I noticed something peculiar, a byproduct of my children using stones, that had an aspect of power to it. When someone died, energy was released. I did not know how to explain this, but it was an unfathomable amount. I guess you could call it a spirit. I had no way to utilize that energy, so the spirit simply withered and vanished. At that point, Ryo had an idea. The spirits could find a home on Terra. When they died, they'd come to my paradise. I agreed, without a moment of hesitation. We put it into effect as soon as we could. I used the last of my will stones for this, but I knew that it would be worth it. The energy started flowing through Terra. When they arrived, we wiped their memory. We made them think they fled their home. They wanted to start a life anew at Terra. Their life energy would no longer be wasted. We even created a questionnaire for them. They told us their likes and we catered. Terra had its own laws of reality. It expanded to accommodate this traffic. You could call it a growing paradise. This is what gave Terra its image. We were always open for immigration. Coming from Earth. I did have an ulterior motive, though. I wanted to grow this power on Terra. Maybe one day, it would be enough to escape. Then it could help the Federation, or if anything was left of it. I had no way of seeing the situation. But it didn't work as I intended. The power was far too diluted. I needed a way to concentrate it. However, I had other things to worry about. The traffic was starting to corrupt Terra. Nagi and Nami's curse was quickly spreading. The more people died, the worse it got. It even corrupted Ryo into what he is now. Warped his powers, gave him more abilities. Terra got the brunt of it, though. Disease, famine, death, it all came here, and no longer was it worth expanding. It turned my paradise into a living hell. We began overpopulated very quickly. You couldn't walk without hitting someone. It's made me realize something shocking. Nagi and Nami would be gathering power. The rampage would result in lots of death, but they had the ability to concentrate it. If I wanted that, I need the fragment. So Ryo and I started looking thoroughly. We looked and searched all over Earth, and caused the fear of Nagi and Nami's power. They had too far much of a head start. Eventually, we found the fragment, with everything in place we planned. How do we grow enough power to start them? We had to set a trap. They could likely sense energy, so we needed enough to lure them back. But my pastor taught me one thing. The stones on my scepter were not enough. They needed to make something living, something that could grow exponentially. So the third fragment was a scepter, and unbelievable as it was, and I was following along. He had a way of explaining things in a clear fashion. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Basically, he wants to lure them back. He'd unleash our power. We'd unleash our powers and tap into theirs. After all, they were harvesting too. I'd assume they held more power. So we only needed to get their attention. When they came, we'd spring the trap. Everything would be present in one room. All three fragments. Them and our lure. A battle would likely ensue, but everything would be connected. We could unleash every bit of power. That's when I'd break free from here. But I wouldn't stop at just that. I'd go on to break I'd go on to break every reality plane. We would cause a massive chain reaction, and in the end we'd all be free. We could live in harmony, like before. We'd open trade routes and help each other. All of the connections would be open. This has always been my goal, Razzle. The Federation would live on, and billions of worlds would coexist. I'd want what no one else could accomplish. Oh no, I do what no one else would accomplish. That's what I told the people too. They were just selective in my wording. They could never know their true nature. Okay. Well, let me make sure I have this straight. He created gods, they went on to rebel. They cursed the earth, and so Velasquez made Ryo. And eventually Terra God became cursed as well. Nagi and Nemi wanted to destroy the Federation, so they were likely harvesting energy from death. This meant they were destroying reality planes. Velasquez wanted to kill them and save the Federation, but he wouldn't just stop at saving the Federation. He'd give freedom to all of the reality planes. This would put them in the same physical space. A new universe would be born, completely connected. If that was to happen, he'd need to lure them back. This meant concentrating power in its own vessel. If they came to harvest it, a battle would ensue. All that power in one single room would be unleashed. This is what Velasquez would use to carry out his plan. He'd combine his energy with the energy they harvested. It'd be like when Nagi tried to unleash my power. However, instead of destruction, it would be liberation. And that is one incredible fact dawned on me. I see. You figured it out. About 10 years ago, I started a movement. I presented it as the Exodus Project. I promised I'd open all the connections. It was always destined to fail, Razzle. At least the public would see it that way. But from my view, I set things in motion. I'd gathered many of Terra's brightest minds, much like the Federation did in the past. Together, we'd plan a course of action. We needed to create a living being, a vessel with the power of a world stone. Such a feat seemed almost impossible. But one night I was struck by inspiration, a method that would surely accomplish this. Of course, I could never tell the others. It involved their sacrifice. I killed them and stored them in my staff, until I had enough power to serve my goal. I'm not proud of my actions. I didn't want to take after Nagi and Nami, but I needed enough power to create a lure. Then Velasquez killed PB and Fidget's mother. That's a horrible thing to do, I'm shocked. Don't jump to conclusions, Razzle. They're still alive and well, just held within the vessel I created. And that's where I was quite dishonest. The Exodus project was not a failure. In fact, it created you. I take a few steps back as my confusion intensifies. I start to panic. That's the last thing I expected. His feeling must be akin to what Nagi and Nami felt. Am I just a pawn of Velasquez of the Federation? Please, my child, do not panic. It's not so complicated as you think. Allow me to continue explaining. You are to help Terra's overpopulation. You take a fraction of the Earth's souls. This would ease our trouble and grow power, but when a Terran died, they fade away. The remaining power ended up wasted, so I made that go to you as well. I couldn't stop immigration completely, so I found a slight loophole, if you will. All the power would still end up in you. You house the souls of billions. There's limitless power within you, the most beautiful of my creations. I don't know how to feel. This doesn't make sense. What about my memories and my name? I know this must be a shocking revelation, but all of these souls fight for dominance. You may inherit their memories or ideals. Your true name is not Razzle Star. One of the lost souls gave you this moniker. Someone strong enough to influence you. I control you they did for a while now, but the other souls still fought this. You might have noticed some inner conflict. Maybe you said something you didn't mean, or your thoughts seemed unlucky. If not, then I'd consider yourself lucky. That's a good way to explain going back through the game and playing it again and doing different things you normally wouldn't do. Very slick. Very slick. Very slick, Clays. You have a sort of omnipotence. You can see events happening away from you, much like Ryo has a special sight. And is that why... Okay, that's why I'm able to see these different events despite whatever. But I don't retain this information, only the souls that witness it do. It's weird, knowing and not knowing. That'd be the source of any doubt. Memories conflicting within Razzle's soul. I would definitely make you seem ignorant. But you are nothing of the sort, my child, and you won't hold these souls forever. You'll have the freedom when the battle is over. You'll be able to retain your physical form, but you'll hold on to the strongest soul. You'll truly become Razzle. That is, if there's enough power. So we must hope that you're strong enough, and that Nami and Nagi have enough as well. I don't think I've ever been more confused. So as an amalgamation of billions of souls, and Razzle was the name of the strongest soul within? I didn't like this, but I could give my independence. And I explained how I met with people who have died. They must have been stored in me as a vessel. There had to be a way to release them, or revive them. I noticed he doesn't mention Ryo or his plan. Was he keeping that a secret even for Velasquez? If that's the case, I'd feel good about my odds. Ryo had been growing this power for eternity. But Ryo told me he didn't know what my power was. It's odd that sending souls to Terra was his idea. It wasn't a hard connection to make if he knew. They were both aware of the energy that death created. It could be another lie, or maybe he forgot. He'd been living the same cycle over and over. His only objective was to grow the power within me. I feel unworthy. But yes, that's the story. Now you know the entire truth. You're made to fight Nami and Nagi. You'll defeat them and unleash the power, then you can reshape reality as you wish. You don't have to take after my ideas. But I know there is no evil within you, so the universe is in capable hands. I trust your judgment, Razzle Joestar. Just then, a third room with doors kicked open. I didn't even get a chance to process all this, but at that moment I realized I'd never get to. Nami strolls down the red carpet towards us. What a beautiful story, Father! Obviously warped in your favor. Don't listen to him, Razzle. Nami, this is not yet the time. I'm speaking with my child. Do not talk to me or my son ever again. We have much to discuss. So the Exodus project made you, huh? I knew there was something about you, but I wasn't able to make the connection. Father mentioned the project succeeded, but I didn't know what you were as the creation, a living vessel. Just like Nagi and I. You can't be the only one, though. We should have won in that ballroom. Someone tapped into the full of power. Father, you're a horrible man. You wanted to create more slaves. Why didn't you learn your lesson? I did, Nami, I truly did. That is why Razzle and Ryo won't fail. I placed all my hopes on them. So the other one is called Ryo. Another name to add to my list. None have been able to escape my wrath. Father, you're a foolish man. I can't believe Razzle will trust you. You only create others for your own gain. Nami looks at me, displaying signs of sadness. She lowers her sword as if to show a lack of hostility. Father is a pawn, creating more pawns. He doesn't love his creations. If they rebel, he wants to kill them. I'm sure he's planning our demise. And it's likely he wants to use you. But that's all he ever does. Use people. All of Earth and all of Terra? It's full of pawns to achieve his goal. Renewed sustenance for this Federation. Nobody here exists beyond that purpose. And that is the harsh truth of things. This Federation thinks they can play God. Or at least, They did think that. What? Nami flourishes her sword before attacking Velasquez. She skewers the blade through his gut, smirking. Looking straight in his eyes, she laughs. Your Federation is no more, Father. Destroying it was almost too easy. Our sights have been set much higher now. But I've waited so long for this. The chance to destroy your dreams and punish you for everything you've done. My blood drops to the floor and I look on in shock. I want to do something, but I can't come between them. I'm paralyzed in fear as I watch Nami kill Velasquez. Nami, please. We had such a hopeful existence. We had the potential to do anything, but in the end we were slaves. I believe in a life of limited purpose, not a life planned out by a creator. You can't tie me down with strings, Father. We lost all hope when you told us the truth, and now I will do the same to you. Your Federation is gone, completely razed. You've waited millions of years, and it was all for nothing. No hope exists. You can't stop us. Velasquez trembles, losing a severe amount of blood. This distance between them, the blade is so long. No, Nami. You're wrong. Hope will always exist within us. Even when it seems like there is none. It's up to us to chase after it. Instead of that, you gave up. Only those who persevere will survive. He grabs the blade and pushes it deeper inside of him. The madman. It causes him more pain, but closes the distance. He takes steps as he does, moving towards Nami. Could you even do that with a blade impaled through you? Father? You lashed out instead of looking for hope. I'm not to blame for your tantrum. But there's one thing I know for sure. He impels himself further, taking more steps forward. A trail of blood spills behind him and he gets weaker. You think you destroyed the Federation, but it is based on the idea of unity. And, Nami, ideas are bulletproof. He's finally close enough to take action. He grips its scepter and drives it through her chest. She grunts in pain, twisting the blade within him. Velasquez coughs up blood and turns to look at me. I knew this was over. He wasn't coming back. More death. Razzle. The rest is up to you. Shape reality as you see fit. Do what I always knew you could. Nami turns the gear on her blade, crying in pain. The room fills with a flash of white light, but I can see the look on their faces. Sorrow, like a father and daughter regretting lost time. And when it subsides, they're both gone. The only thing remaining is Nami's sword on the ground. I walk towards it slowly with a sense of anxiety. Did all their energy just merge into this blade? I kneel down and pick it up with intense hesitation. If that was the case, this power was incredible. The power of Nami, the scepter, and myself. If anything could stop Nagi, it was this. But when I pick it up, I hear clapping behind me. I turn to see Nagi standing by the throne room doors. He must have been watching and enjoying the show. His slow claps echo throughout the chamber. He walks towards me and takes out his blade. I do the same in return and we meet in the middle. We stand in front of each other, weapons outstretched. I can feel beads of sweat make their way down my body. Do you really think you can win, Razzle? Remember what happened last time. You got lucky, but it won't happen twice. I stand my ground and grip the sword tighter. Last time I didn't stand a chance. With this sword I might be able to win, especially if it's connected to the power within me. We've harvested for an eternity, you know. You only created a decade ago. What makes you think you're stronger? Nami was much weaker than I am, and the scepter's power is almost gone. I don't see how you could defeat me. You might as well give up. At the very least, join me. Not everybody can wield that blade. He's insane if he thinks I'd want to join him. He and Nami must have destroyed so many reality planes. The lives of countless billions are in this blade. I wanted the freedom, not harvest more. But at the same time, he could easily beat me. I'm unsure if I had enough power to stand up to him. There's a part inside of me that wants to join him. The souls inside of me must be fighting one another. Conflicted, I presume. It's no surprise given what you are. We're not so different, you know. Tools created by Father. No. Tools created by the Federation. Only left with doubt when they told the truth. If you didn't help him, he'd kill you. He did it to Nami without any hesitation. We are only fighting for our freedom. He lowers his blade like Nami did earlier. Then he stares into my eyes and smiles. Don't you want freedom too? Your destiny has never been your own. Everything has been decided for you. I am not as evil as Father made me out to be. I just went against his horrific ideals. He believes that slavery is acceptable. It's not just my freedom I desire the freedom of every living being. For that, shackles must be destroyed. In this case, it was the Federation, and the scientists chosen as pawns. Believe me, they've all been destroyed. But I realize there's even more. Our journey has been long, but I know it's nowhere near complete. There's nothing to connect anymore. We've harvested everything, Razzle. Your reason to exist is now invalid. But trust me, I know that plan. Nami and I endured it for an eternity. Oh, no, that pain. All in the name of what noble goal. I can tell you what you're thinking right now. So many souls are contained within you, all fighting each other for dominance. Their viewpoints may always conflict. But one desire will be universal. They all want freedom. They all want to live again. I want that for you as well, Razzle, but I won't just stop at you. I'll make sure everybody is truly free. I can't tell if he's genuine or playing me. As these dimensions enter conflict, my mind fires up. Millions of voices sound in my head and it's insane. He uses his chance to start walking towards me. I can no longer grasp what thoughts are my own. Do I agree with Nagi or do I oppose him? My grip on the blade tightens and then loosens. This confusion allows him to keep approaching me. I mean you no harm. We don't have to fight, not yet. I'll give you the chance to decide. Father told you a twisted tale. He must have made me seem so evil, but I have a tale of my own, you know. And I'd love to tell it to you. He approaches me and places a hand on my shoulder. It feels like when Rhea did the same thing to me. It's familiar, yet a little worrisome. I don't think Nagi will be taking me to the Ark. You'll get the chance to see my home. I'm enveloped in a flash of white light, much like when Nagi spun the gear on her blade, but this is different. We're moving. For a moment, I wonder where he could be taking me. Okay, yeah, see, this one has it right. Velasquez's throne room. What the? An earlier time, in a fit of panic, escapees from the Wyvern's tavern hide in the forest. Fearing their lives, they fight to catch their breath. Peepy, you need to calm down right now. We did everything we could. It's a miracle that we survived. Don't you dare tell me to calm down. Did you not see the same thing I did? They killed my brother, thanks to you. This wasn't my fault, Peepy. You didn't see what those two could do. It would have been useless to contest them. Please think about this rationally. I am upset more than I've ever been, but I didn't want to add to the bloody count. It was your job to protect us, though. You've been doing it for years, Righty. You can't just back down from a fight. Baby, I know this is difficult for you, but they'll all be dead if I fought back. They have power like I've never seen. We need to be thankful we escaped. I hope that Trish and Caitlin did too, but trust me, Fidget's not gone yet. They skewered him right in front of us. I held him in my arms before he ran away. How can you say he's not gone? PB fumes with anger, but this time it's justified. Remember what Rayo told us, PB. Razzle has the ability to fix all of this. Right now we need to focus on survival. This will all blow over soon enough, and we'll get to see everybody again. Not just Fidget, but your mother too. Do you really believe that, Righty? Yes, with all of my heart. I know that Razzle can do this. You're lying. You said we need to focus on survival, but then you say death is irrelevant. Especially if Razzle can reverse it. That's why I don't believe you. And why do I think Fidget is really gone? You fear death. You don't want to die. Well, I mean, even if I could be brought back to life, what the bloody hell makes you think I want to die? You don't truly believe in Razzle. You don't truly believe in Rio's words. There's a part of you that knows the truth. Reddy clenches his fist, unsure of what to say. You're holding on to a false hope, just like Fidget's been doing for years. I miss him, Reddy. I miss him so much. And it's all your fault. BB leaps forward towards Reddy, presumably to attack. The city cries and hugs his friend. A fountain of tears runs down his face. I want him back. Reddy embraces PB and starts to cry as well, shedding his first tears since the Exodus project. When I open my eyes, I'm confused by what I see. There's also a weird sensation in the back of my mind. For some reason, I think I see Reddy and PB, but in front of me, it's actually a rusty hangar bay. I shake my head in an attempt to gain clarity. After a few moments, I notice Nagi approach me. Well, Reddy and PB in some sort of danger? If that was the case, I'm sure Nagi would know. I'm sorry for the mess, Razzle. It's not often I get company. This room doesn't get much use. I promise the rest of the ship is clean. Rest of the ship? What does he mean? This is my home. The Terminus. Yes, we ripped this name directly off from The Walking Dead. But fortunately, we don't have a man wielding a baseball bat that kills everybody's friends. Instead, we wield big swords. Oh wait, did I get that wrong? I probably got that reference wrong. I don't really watch The Walking Dead. I just pick up on names here and there. A flagship vessel built by the Federation. Seized with force. By my own hand. But please, follow me, Razzle. This room doesn't benefit our conversation. It's merely an organic landing pad. Organic landing pad? Yeah, it's able to transfer living beings, even if they are nowhere near the ship. As you can see, we don't get much company. He laughed. Clearly a jab at the dilapidated room. I understand, though. It's like getting beamed up. He must have transferred us both from Terra's surface. I think you'll find this place beautiful. First impressions can be a damning thing. You must have thought I was ugly at first. Without even saying so, he leaves the room. I have no choice but to follow him with hesitation. I grip my sword, ready to use it at any time. But when we exit, I see that it truly is beautiful. Everything is pristine, is glossy and white. Several computer monitors display incomprehensible data. This technology is so advanced I can barely grasp it. The Federation must be eons ahead of Earth and Terra. I stare in awe as I walk towards Nagi. He's walking fast. I don't want to get lost. I have to run to catch up, and his straight is much longer. I'm taking you to the bridge. I thought it would be more fitting. No doubt you have lots of questions. I heard what Father told you, but there's a lot more to it than that. Stories are really ever one-sided. We turn a few corners and I do my best to catch up. Nagi's demeanor is extremely different than I knew. I have some fright within me from our last meeting. Part of me fears that he might make a sudden move. But I don't blame you, Exodus. Wait, it's okay if I call you that, is it? I think it fits you better, to be honest. Father got to you first. What a shame. Him and his people made a big impression. You're attached, and less open-minded. I have flashbacks to the first time I visited Terra. Righty got to Keela, Anyone and Conrad got to me. At that time, we sided with opposite parties. I even thought about this correlation in my mind. But I couldn't see it as simple as that. It implies there's no good or evil at play. Nagi attacked the Federation, he admitted this. And to top it all off, he tried to kill me. I have a reason for everything that I've done. You sat through Father's story, Exodus. I hope you can do the same for mine. We're almost at the bridge. It won't be much longer now. We can end this without violence. We turn a few more corners and I see a large door. It's likely this is the entrance to the bridge of the ship. Nagi keeps walking and opens it upon his approach. I quickly enter after him, hoping it doesn't close. I knew one thing for sure. This is where it ended. You have reached the point of no return. You will no longer have the ability to save. Many scenes will start playing out in sequence. Ensure you have enough time to watch the finale. We've passed the point of no return. As soon as I enter, I see Nagi standing at a terminal. I don't know what he's doing, but he sure does. His fingers tap away at the touchscreen with expertise. After a moment, the windows seem to open. Actually, they fade into transparency. I'm welcome to the void of space, the absolute black. It's littered with less stars than I'd expect. It's kind of beautiful, isn't it? This is the edge of your reality plane. You can see it outside, but that's it. You don't have the technology to escape, nor the ability to see this far. You're the first Earthling ever to witness this. All those stars are just out of reach. They're the Federation's core worlds. But what you're seeing is only a memory. They're far away. They're so far away this isn't accurate. That light is millions of years old. We've long since destroyed those worlds. Good touch. Because, you know, light from stars takes so long to transmit, so, yeah. From here they look amazing, but you can see their flaws up close. If I could only see them like this, I would have never destroyed them. They still glisten like this today. But every candle dims into nothingness. And there is also beauty in the darkness. Something that most people hate to admit. He rests his hand against the window and snickers. I guess he's overtaken by nostalgia at the sight. What did the universe look like before his onslaught? Then a moment later, he turns to me and smiles. I wish I could show you that darkness. Light is not as pure as people think. Those worlds shine with indecency. He takes slow steps towards me. I want to ready my blade, but I don't. I sense sorrow and regret in his words. He wasn't going to attack me, I could tell. I hate thinking about the past. It stirs up rage within my soul. But do you share the same rage as me? We were supposed to create a perfect world, but it really wouldn't be our world. It'd be handed over to that damn Federation. And what would happen? We lashed out at him enraged. We should have been free to live our lives, but instead he created us as slaves. He didn't deserve to live in peace. That is why we performed our ritual. We cursed Earth with all manner of flaws. Death, disease, famine, you name it. He'd slowly watch his pitiful mission crumble. His scepter would always be out of reach. Nami and myself were able to break free, but we promised that one day we'd return. We'd kill him when his will was broken. That is when we embarked on our mission. We'd find the leader of the Federation and we'd kill them, breaking all shackles. They'd never be able to do this to us again. Condemn worlds to their servitude. The reality plane should have been free. The Call Worlds were the first thing we saw. They were in worse shape than we thought. Much more pathetic than Father had ever let on. We touched down on one as soon as we could, but we were instantly greeted with violence. It was unfortunate. We fought back. That is when we found out the truth. Our weapons were plagued as well, likely from the same ritual on Earth. As we killed them, we grew stronger. We could convert life into raw energy. Suddenly, our goal became realistic. We began traversing all of the worlds, and we saw the Federation's true nature. They could barely sustain their own people. Their need for energy was apparent. But none of the planes were successful. The Federation was living its final days. You might think that we're monsters, but our harvesting was a display of mercy. The people were suffering so much. We would use their energy in a righteous manner by destroying the Federation entirely. No more worlds would suffer because of them. As we harvested, we interrogated. We learned where the Federation was run, and about its leader, the Imperator. We knew where we had to go. The world that the Imperator called home. Only there we could end the Federation. But we saved it for last Exodus. We wanted the Imperator to suffer too. Much like Father would be at the same time. He'd see his Federation fall apart. And we lost our hope. He'd die. Then the universe would truly be free. Our journey finally led us to the homeworld. We're all powerful, completely invisible. Sure enough, the world was a paradise. They weren't suffering like the other worlds. The Imperator obviously did this on purpose, ensuring that he was able to live happily. We met him. We had a long talk. He stood by his morals to the end. These experiments were for the greater good. He was civil, which was unexpected. His experiments led to so much suffering. He was the biggest mass murderer in history. Therefore, his end was very fitting. We killed him, but we showed him no mercy. He was destroyed by his own experiments. We should have been satisfied, but we weren't. There was something else we had to do. Was there something else we had to do? That's where we discovered the Terminus. The Federation knew that they were dying, so they no longer sat around waiting. They built a ship capable of reality travel. They wanted to visit the planes, rather than waiting for them to break free. We seized the ship without hesitation. Now that's when we realized what to do next. The Imperator was not the true creator. Something or someone made the Imperator. The Federation didn't spawn from nothing. This entire universe was likely created. But what would hold such power? We needed to continue our harvest. But now we could visit the reality planes. We were no longer limited to core worlds. The power we could gather was infinite. We needed every bit of it. We'd be breaking out of the universe. Reality planes were nothing to us anymore, and the Federation was insignificant. There was an even greater target out there. So we did what we've been doing forever. We started harvesting the reality planes. Our power grew with each successful harvest. That's when Terra piqued our interest. There seemed to be a massive power present, and not only that, it was rapidly growing. The temptation to harvest Terra was huge, but we decided to save it for last as well. We let the power grow as long as we could. And grow you did, Exodus. Nami and I harvested the universe, but somehow your power rivaled that. I would definitely be enough to break free. That's when we decided to come to Terra. Nami was driven by her lust to kill Father. And who was I to get in her way? She had a desire that was truly her own. She wasn't acting under any influence, so I let her do it even if she died. Her final act would be her own choice. There's nothing more beautiful than that. I promised I would achieve our goal. That's why we destroyed the tavern. There'd be no need of it anymore. It was symbolic of Father's failure, his hopes to see a connected universe. We had fun raising it to the ground. And that brings us to where we stand, on the cups of a universal revolution. I want to find our creator, Exodus. Even if I have to travel forever, even if a million universes get in my way, I will find them and destroy them. I'll use the power to start over again, a new beginning for all of existence, without the suffering I've witnessed. This is what I was truly made to do. I wasn't meant to make a perfect world, I was meant to make universes of perfection. And you can help me, Exodus. The power is vast and infinite. You don't need to follow Father's orders. His dream is less than ideal. His universe would be overpowered. It would suffer the exact same way. He'd have you undo all my harvesting, bring back every world, every life, but it's not such a good thing. They lived a horrifying existence, and some of these people were truly evil. The Imperator was living proof of that. Everything would be connected, sure, but would it truly be harmonious? I don't think that's the case, Exodus. There are worse people than me out there. Father would give them free reign, all in the name of a connected universe. That's why we destroyed the tavern. There's another way to handle this, something that works for us both. Lend me your energy, Exodus. I'll use it to leave this universe. But I'll close off Earth and Terra. Whatever I do won't affect you. These worlds will live just as they have, but will destroy the Ark completely. These worlds will be independent. There will be no more give and take. Terra can become a world of its own. It won't be connected to Earth anymore. Therefore, no more immigration. This will solve all of Terra's problems. Death will be permanent. Terra will be free. It won't exist solely to hold energy. You can give the citizens true freedom. This is so much to take in. I have to stop and think. So Nagi ended up destroying the entire Federation, but it was suffering, so he saw it as a mercy. Now he wants to see who created this universe. The only way he can break out is with all of our power, the universe held in the blades of my energy. But he's offering to leave Earth and Terra unharmed. Only if I can give up all of Velasquez's ideas. I've seen life on Terra, though. It's not good. Was the rest of the universe truly that bad? Why be releasing as much suffering as he said? It seems now this is a battle of pure ideals. On one hand, I could guarantee Earth and Terra safety. If we close ourselves off, there'd be no risk at all. A connected universe was risky, but the goal were great. It would also give us an opportunity to advance. There's no way I could decide this on my own, and I'd have to defeat Nagi to connect the universe. Otherwise, we'd admit defeat of our own and hide. We live quietly, never knowing what could have been. I can see Nagi tremble with unease. I think he expected me to give into his speech. But there's so many voices in my head I can't. It's so unclear, too cloudy to pass judgment. I understand what's going on. The souls inside are conflicted once more. They don't know what action to take, right? And I'll tell him I'm sorry. I need lots of time to think about this. Come to that, Exodus. I have a better way to decide everything. A way to let our two selves decide. He turns back to me and returns to the terminal. I see him typing away at it much harder than before. I sense he's trying to hide. What is going on? Oh, there we go. Okay. I have the stream going on my phone too, so I can see what's going on. That said, the stream was offline. There's probably something else going on. Oh, well. Anyways, did you really expect to convince me so easily? After a while, he turns back to me. The ship starts to move, pushing me back violently. I almost fall down but grab onto a terminal. As this happened, Nagi gives me an evil smirk. I've learned one thing during our harvest. People are most open before their death. And so when I put things into perspective. You can learn a lot about another person, especially with a blade to the neck. So tell me, what do you truly want? He flourishes his blade and holds it out towards me. I instinctively do the same and return facing him. The ship is moving, our destination unknown to me. Nagi keeps that evil grin on his face, ready to kill. Our destination is Terra, a crash course. In fact, let the castle directly. The fallout will obliterate everything. And let the blade speak of your resolve. If you can defeat me, then very well. You will make Father's dream a reality. But if you don't defeat me in that time, we'll crash, you'll die, and I can use your power for myself. He lunges towards me and attempts to strike me down. I mean his sword halfway, locking both of ours in place. I gazed into his eyes. It seems to have equal strength. The blades stay in deadlock, not choosing sides. But there's part of me that wants to defeat him. As it detects his desire, the gears on my blade spin. It gives me the extra strength, and I finally overpower him, but he dodged with ease, moving to the side. After a moment, he attacks once more in full force. I brace myself and held out my blade in defense. When our swords clash, a white light flashes before us. Likely this is a reaction to my spinning gear. Oh no, the energy is escaping. These blades were not meant to clash. Next to this, tame your gear immediately. I don't listen to him, and I attack again. I needed this boost if I want to win. A white light flashes as they clash another time. But when it fades, I notice new stars glistening. A celestial light show being born from the blade. Worlds long since harvested finding new light. Don't be foolish. You'll undo all of our work. Then neither of us can achieve anything. He starts to take a defensive stance. He is afraid of our swords connecting further. He dodges my attacks smoothly and with ease. I never thought such a man would display grace. Part of me wants to stop the gear, but I don't. Now that I've tasted power, it's all I need. Perhaps this is what Nagi felt as he used it as well. He continues to evade, so I need to switch things up. Flames start to engulf the windows of the bridge. Once we break in the Terran atmosphere, the ship shakes. I could use this for turbulence. Perhaps I'll be able to throw him off guard. Only a few minutes left after this. I can dodge whatever you throw at me. There's no way you can win anymore. His baiting works and I attack full force, but this time I do my best to trick him. In the middle of a slash, I lose my balance. He thinks the shaking of the ship overtook me. But he was the one who got caught off guard. He tries using my momentary confusion to attack me. But like he did before, I dodge him with ease. I turn around and drive the sword through his back. He lets out a grunt as he falls to his knees. He remains there, panting heavily. The floor fills with his blood, pitch black. He bows his head, as if admitting defeat. I take a few steps back, my blade left inside of him. The puddle of blood on the floor grows in size. I watch in awe, expecting him to pass out. Congratulations, Exodus. You've done it. You've proven how stupid you truly are. He laughs as he rises to his feet. It was all an act. He reaches behind himself and pulls out my blade. Now he has both swords and he wasn't even hurt. For a moment, I regret underestimating him. We aren't so quick to hurt, Exodus. We are both born from Woodstones. I'm surprised you thought it was over. But now I hold both blades. Infinite power courses through my veins. There's no way you could win this. He walks towards me and I retreat in fright, but eventually my back hits the wall. Just like before! This is exactly just like the ballroom incident. I look around in panic, trying to find a way out. No one can save you now. In fact, why should I even wait? I can unleash your power right now. A few more steps and he's right in front of me. I know there's use trying to run. I tried the same thing back when Indy Mayan died, but this time Owen gets sent back by Rayo. I often wondered if there's an afterlife. On the off chance there is, give my father my regards when you see him. And with that, he plunges both blades inside of me. I scream as I pin to the wall of the terminus. My vision falters and I look out the bridge window. The Terran surface grows bigger with each second. That's the world wanting your help. You could have saved them, you know? You could have sided with me. You could have joined me. But you had to go with the pin pushes. I gave you a perfectly valid option, but instead you chose to fight me. You choose a battle you know you'd lose. And now they will all suffer for it. Look at this beautiful forest, Exodus. That's the last time you'll ever see them. Or any Terran, for that matter. Souls will continue to travel here, but they'll find only hell, engulfed in fire, burning for eternity. He pushes the blade deeper, and makes the gear spin. I can feel my essence draining faster than ever before. He was right. I could have agreed with him back then, but now my last moments of life will be full of regret. My vision slowly starts to fade. It seems he'll activate our power at the last second. At the moment of impact, he'll leave this universe. I'd die, and everyone on Terra would suffer forever. Oh, but the game's not really going to end like this, is it? But just like the ballroom, it wasn't over yet, of course. However, instead of fear, these events bring hope. Not so fast, Nagi! He quickly turns to address the intruder. He's caught off guard, as if they'd never met. But it's good to see a familiar face after this, and part of me knows exactly what will happen next. Archeon! Do it now! When Nagi is confused, Wayo makes his move. He dashes towards me and pulls out one of the swords. Then he returns to the center of the bridge, smirking. He points the blade at Nagi, completely determined. So we finally meet. The last Question's creations, together at last. You sure screwed up the first time around. So you're the other one, then. You foiled my plans in the ballroom, brother. Do you have a death wish? Nagi turns to me and tries to take the second blade, but before he can get to me, he's stopped. Going somewhere? You're all out of time. And you know what that means. You're all out of luck. Archeon quickly removes the other blade. I fall to the ground in a puddle of my own blood. But they have both swords, free to kill Nagi. They stand there, pointing them both towards them. You two. Explain yourselves. I demand you tell me what's going on. Like you did to all the others you killed? Don't make me laugh, you don't deserve it. Today we erase a scourge from the universe. Ryo runs forward, stabbing Nagi straight through. The larger man stumbles back, groaning in pain. Archeon, let's end this. Acheron, Acheron, let's end this. Destroy the cause of so much suffering, and give a brighter future to everyone. Couldn't have said it better myself. You know, I thought I won the battle. But now I know this is truly the end. He follows after Ryo and stabs Nagi as well. They both look at each other and give a firm nod. They activate the gears and Nagi screams in agony. You fools! You can't defeat me! I am the embodiment of death, a force more powerful than anything! Archeon simply laughs. Acheron, And I'm the embodiment of life. For the first time, it has prevailed. A new force will govern the universe. A white light engulfs everything, and I can't see it. But I can feel energy, and then a lack of it. Almost as if Nagi was now a part of the blades. Had they truly defeated the man who created Earth? I bring myself to my feet, and my knees tremble. I call out to Ryo and Archeon, hoping they're alive. Perhaps their energy was put in the blades as well. When the light subsides, I see that's not the case. They both turn and face me, wearing huge smiles. They both teamed up and done the unthinkable. They destroyed Nagi and ended his twisted journey. It's not over yet, Razzle. It's time to unleash your power. Archeon, just like we practiced. They turn and point both swords at me, but I sense no hostility within them. And it's finally time to bring this to an end. I live out the purpose I was created for. I'll do this for everyone's freedom! No one will get stuck in a cycle of despair. He stabbed me with his blade and I feel a surge of power. And I'll do this for everyone's happiness. No more will death triumph over life. Archeon follows suit, plunging his sword within me. Here, with the ability to change history, we'll bring about a hopeful future. Okay, this game just got like anime as all hell right now. Oh, two voices. I can't do two voices. Razzle, we believe in you. They push the blades in deeper, but it doesn't hurt. Instead, I feel power like I've never felt before. It was time to change history and make things better. I looked deep inside, finding out how much power I had. With all of this, I'd create the best possible reality. But how much power did I have and what could I do? This is the accumulation of every action I ever took. All of your choices have led up to this. What should I do? Close off Earth and Terra or restore worlds and open connections? No, let's restore everything. Yeah, let's do it. I can feel the power within me. I can do this. I'd unleash every life, every world within these blades, and I'd use the power within me to connect them. A shared universe. Just like Daddy would have wanted. I nod at them as they plead for a better reality. The gears spin and everything fades away. I close my eyes, embracing what's to come. I knew my journey had finally come to an end, and I also knew that I'd never open my eyes again. But when they did, they'd see the future that I created. A future built on a foundation of loss and suffering. But a future that would never experience it again, for I was able to return those who perished. By my hands, all the suffering would be undone, and the galactic community would unite and prosper. Epilogue. This is it. That was actually pretty epic, I'll admit. Let's see what I cooked up. With the rewriting of history, Terra was different. Rather than being isolated, it was part of a community. Reality planes no longer existed and everyone was free. But this brought with it a host of new dangers as well. You want to travel to the fringe worlds? I'm sorry, I think I may have misheard. You know how dangerous they are, Indymion? Indymion is back. Of course I do, Velasquez. But the threats must be taken seriously. We've been tipped off. A potential attack. I can't just stand here and watch this. It could injure galactic stability. Surely I can request a short leave. Nobody remembered what Terra was like before the change. Nami and Nagi were wiped from the annals of history. But so too would the child of Exodus be forgotten? For death and suspension meant losing more than life. Velasquez assembled a small task force he could rely on. They'd help protect Terra's standing in the galaxy. But so much had changed, and things were different. People who were once close might not even meet. And what does your protege think? I can't force them into this situation. We need input as well. We need their input as well, Andy my own. Of course. Anyone turns to the side and calls for his partner. His input was just as valuable to the king. I demand is correct, my lord. So in this new reality, Conrad and Indymion never hooked up, it seems like. This threat is not like the others. It's not just Terra that would be affected. I'd humbly request our leave as well. I'm in no position to order you around, but know that we could save many lives. Velasquez strokes his chin in deep thought. I could easily send our ambassadors. Would diplomacy not avert this crisis? I'm afraid not. I say, nobody could also know that we left. It will off the books. Secret. Subterfuge, some would say. Ruling Terra required more care than ever before. One decision could send ripples across the galaxy, and Velasquez's decisions were always under scrutiny. Every world was watching each other. No one was alone. Are you sure you could keep this a secret? I'd hate for all would suffer. Our reputation is special to me, righty? I'm confident in our ability. Very well. I trust you. Tell me more about this threat. I'd like to know the scope of it all. Velasquez and his task force focused on galactic issues. His ambassadors, however, handled things much smaller. They represented Terra in the Galactic Senate. Issues such as trade and immigration were their concern. They want us to send more refugees. Have we not already taken all we can? I don't know if I'd agree with this choice. But the people of Alabama Prime need help. The crisis is our opportunity desk. This is where we can afford the barter. What do we need from them? Besides, want to come off as greedy? Of course not. It's our decision. We'd be far from the first world to do it, and their local export sells for a lot. You think a tithe would be acceptable? That's exactly what I was going for. Open doors to Bell Prime for a price. We sell their goods, our economy booms. We can't just offer our shelter for free. People would take advantage of us. Velasquez can have the final say. Very well, but you can't be forgetting. Our trip to the Senate is approaching. We need to handle this in a swift manner. Yeah, I heard you the first time. I'm packing all my stuff next week. I hope they like our ideas this time. Oh, I know whose crib this is. Every year, the Galactic Senate would gather together. They'd share ideas and vote for the betterment of all. Meeting on the core worlds, they held deliberations. But it wasn't just larger things that needed ruling. Every town on Terra had an elected governor. They were given enough power to rule on their own. This was so Velasquez and his team could relax. Managing their galactic standing was more than enough. A motion to decrease the price of produce? I wasn't aware we were overcharging. What do you think we should do? Might not be expensive to you, Father, but not everybody has the same standards. There are people who struggle on Terra. I would lower it, but not by too much. We don't want to sell ourselves short. Should we use other towns as guide? Should we use the other towns as a guide? That's a great idea, my son. Aww. Would you be willing to take that trip? Would you be able to price more competitively? I'd love to do that, actually. I'd get to visit Kayleen in his home. I haven't seen him in a very long time. Very well. Then it's decided. Okay, we should have at least got different clothes for them for the ending. But there's no need to leave just yet. We have quite a few motions to look over. Many were pushed apart in unexpected ways, but things had changed. Many were also brought together. However, they never know things had changed. To them, their lives have always been this peaceful. Wait, let me get this straight, Triss. King Velasquez offered you a job? Yeah, I was just as shocked as you are. I mean, can you even believe this is true? Well, no. But probably for different reasons. Are you going to accept his offer? Of course. This is the best thing that's ever happened. I'll definitely get to perfect my art, and I'll make sure to advertise your tavern. Oh, there's no need for that. Don't want you breaking any rules. We can handle things on our own. I guess you're right. I did put up a now hiring sign, though. Figured you'd need some extra help. Thanks, that was really nice of you. I appreciate everything you've done for us. Just then, someone knocks on the tavern door. If you'll excuse me, Trish. He leaves the conversation and answers the door. A friendship that lasted a lifetime would form that day. Welcome to the Wayfarer's Tavern, sir. What can I do for you on this fine day?
Oh, hey there. I saw a job posting outside, actually. I was wondering if it's still available.
While others stayed in Riley, others moved away. Terra was now a bustling world full of opportunity. But even if there was distance, many remained united. Kabu, it's so good to see you again. I was just about to write to you, actually. I can't believe you managed to surprise me. He hugs his friend, and they share a moment of joy. They don't know why, but they become great friends, as if something inside of them called to one another. Perhaps remains of the tragedy had stayed with them.
Kaylee, not for so long. People are starting to stare. It is good to see you too, my friend.
Their embraces broken, and they wear large smiles. So what brings you here, Kabu? Surely it's business of some sort.
Yeah, you're right, but it requires your input, actually. Player wants to reevaluate some pricing.
Oh, well, I can help with that. I do the same thing with my boss.
I knew you'd never let me down. So, this is a matter of produce. Citizens think we're overcharging.
They walk down the street, staying close as they talk. Oh, that's definitely a tough one. That kind of stuff is a necessity. It's easy to charge more for that. We dealt with that a while ago too, but I think we settled at a neat price. At least the citizens seem to enjoy it. So much has changed, you know. Getting a new governor will do that, but he's been very popular with the people.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. Your town elected a new leader. What'd you say his name was again?
It's Riley. What? Is he as manipulative of a... Is he as manipulative in this reality as in the previous one? It seems in this new world, even enemies were friends. Souls that were lost had the chance to shine again. This changed the direction of many people's lives, including those who would otherwise cling to the past. Wait, I actually did it correctly? Trish always told me that was wrong. I'm really confused now, PB. I guess we have our differences. It's just clean glass, though. If you damage them, we can buy more. She did most of the damaging, actually. I wonder what the king saw in her. I guess she made some good drinks or something. Maybe we'll never know. Alaska's rules in mysterious ways. Just focus on the tavern, alright? Alright. So what do I do next? I mean, all the glass is clean now. I swept the floors and wiped the windows. You don't weigh too much, Fidget. Just relax and take a breather. I don't want you burning yourself out. Just then, another visitor arrives at the tavern. They gently knock at the door, and Fidget smiles. Home a little earlier today. Don't worry, I'll get it, PB. He runs to the door, eventually leaving his brother behind. As he opens it, the smiling face of his mother awaits. He leaps into her arms, and she softly kisses his cheek. It was an embrace that he never wanted to end. Oh, we don't get to see what Mother looks like? Aw. It seems in this moment, everything was fine, not just for Fidget, but for the galaxy as a whole. Terra went on to live a long and prosperous life, and those who lived there were given happiness, the better future they had always desired. Endymon and Righty carried out their mission. They performed with honor and stopped a massive threat. Feeling guilty, however, Velasquez came clean. Some things never change, it seems. He told the Galactic Senate what they had planned. Instead of punishment, they were rewarded. The Galactic Senate wanted to hire their services. Together, they founded a new branch of government. Agents dedicated to covertly defusing threats. They would forever be remembered as the founders. Endymon and Righty became a vital part of history. After their passing, they were used as a measure. Everyone admired to do as much good in the galaxy as them. Dusk and Sam continued to serve as Terra's ambassadors. Their time was devoted to enhancing quality of life. Terra's standing in the galactic community was high. Happiness and peace were commonplace on this world. Eventually, they were asked to serve the core worlds. Over time, they came to rule the Galactic Senate. It was their job to rule over the annual deliberations. Henceforth, their ideas were never discarded again. Claire and Kabu continued to govern the town of Rieli. It became known for its peaceful and affordable life, but as time passed, old age took the life of Claire. His son ran the election and secured leadership. He maintained the town his father worked to create, but in the end, he was able to make it even better. Riley became a home for the more upper-class citizens, a far cry from its more humble beginnings in poverty. Conrad was hired and began working at the tavern. He served out his days as a loyal denizen of Riley. He lived a small, happy life of complete peace. He never experienced the danger of battle again. PB too lived a quiet life of happiness, running the tavern with Conrad. They made a fortune. As Riley rose in the rank, so did their revenue. Eventually, it became the most luxurious bar on Terra. Trish served Velazquez for the rest of her days. Over time and with practice, she perfected her art. She was responsible for lots of tourism to the castle. Everybody wanted to taste her beautiful concoctions. And to them, the castle gates remained forever open. Kaelin served Riley for many years to come, but much like a player, old age got the better of him. Running for office, Kaelin succeeded his boss. Him and his best friend had both become governors. They promptly united both of their towns as one. In the future, it would be known as New Riley. Together, they led their home to prosperity, and they were remembered for many years to come. Fidget remained under the tutelage of his mother. She was considered one of the brightest minds on Terra. However, this time, the Exodus project never happened. She was not claimed, and they lived together in joy. She was responsible for many technological advances, and as they got older, she taught her son her ways. She did pass away, but Fidget was able to let go. He went on to continue her work and aid the galaxy. It was a harsh truth. Nobody could live forever. This rang true even for the immortal king. He was remembered as Terra's greatest leader, taught in every school for generations to come. In that sense, maybe he was immortal. The annals of time never forget such men. Terra went on to experience an eternal peace. They lived forever in harmony with the galaxy. I guess we gotta see what happened on Earth now. Earth, however, would remain largely unchanged. It was introverted, concerned with its own matters. It would be a while before they entered the galactic community, but life still changed, all for the better. With the sacrifice of Exodus, tragedies were averted. This left things free to proceed as they were meant to. Hype escalated at the launch of Clace's tour arrived, but due to these changes, there was only one winner. Absolutely not. I forbid it. I can't just let you go out alone. Remember what happened the last few times? I mean, I had this crazy-ass dream where, like, this gal froze time and strangled you in your sleep with a noose, so, like... But Singe, I really want to. I should be there to greet him personally. Especially after all the pop star you drank. You'll have plenty of time to meet him. But it'll have to be later on. Rook and Jade will be picking him up. And I'm sorry, that's final. You know how the press can get, Clace. I don't want you in the spotlight just yet. Clace slumps down in his chair, sad at this news. In his mind, he should greet the contest winner. After all, this entire thing was his idea. Fine. But you should let them take the limo. At least do that for me, alright? Otherwise, it'll be boring for him. I don't think you heard me properly. We must avoid undue attention. We'll save all that for the tour launch. Please just let them take the limo. Imagine if you won such a huge contest. You'd be let down if you got anything else. You're the one who said this was great PR. Do you want to seem cheap to everybody? Then by all means, send a tiny car. One of those little box cars that Japanese people tend to drive. Singe groans, resting his face in his hands.
Fine, I'll give them the limo. But I'm not doing this happily. At least, let the record show that.
Yeah, but you don't do anything happily. So this is just typical Singe, right? An awkward silence ensues before they both start laughing. But seriously, let's focus here. You should probably tell Inui what's up. He loves hanging out in that limo, right? Yeah, I'll do it. He'll be so happy to go along. Who's the contest winner again? His name is Keela. Oh, did Keela not die here? I mean, I know I blew up Keela to high hell. Well, I blew Eddie up to high hell, not Keela. As many things changed, some new bonds were forged. Wounds of the past would never again be reopened. They worked with fervent effort as the tour approached. But even the most dedicated workers deserve some rest. So, I guess this is it, Our last day to relax and unwind. Tomorrow the tour starts in forest. Yeah, you said it, Jade. I wish I had more time to relax. Things are gonna get pretty busy. Won't be that bad in the end. Traveling the world is fun and prospect, and you know, we get to do it together. Aww. I need like the little aww track. So why did you pick this place? You had to know I hate water. You're up to something, aren't you? No way. I'm offended. When do I ever have ulterior motives? I'm a man of pure heart and spirit. With an impeccable sense of humor, too. Come on, Rook, spill the beans. Rook walks over to the railing and looks in the water. He waves Jade over and she joins him in observing. Again, I hate water. I can think of something that hates it even more. Something that's no longer needed either. Oh yeah? What is that? Rook smiles and walks to the opposite railing. With a running start, he throws the tablet in the water. It hits far away, and I can hear its impact loudly. Well, I hit my mirror, but I was aiming for the closet. Rook, what did you do that for? He turns around and embraces Jade with a smile. She's caught off guard and starts giggling. A blush appears at her face at the sudden advance. Because I have everything I need right here. Aww, okay, that's adorable. They share a kiss alone on the quiet dock, their only witness the slowly setting sun. It brings with it the end of a special day and the beginning of something even more special. Though history has changed, many things stayed the same. This rang true with the guitar, Shock, and Rocker. They were relaxing backstage while justing off awards, and living with the hope they might get more. So, you ready for the big show? I've been practicing overtime now. Lots of critics to impress this time. Yeah, I suppose I'm ready, but I don't care about the critics. They take the fun out of everything. I play because it's my passion, Shock. I don't do it to get evaluated. To me, the music brings happiness. Are you calling me vain or something? I play to impress the entire world. Not everybody is as talented as we are. Of course not. You're not vain. Some people like that kind of validation. I just like staying in the shadows. And I'm grateful to have this chance. He cracks open a pop star and starts chugging. He swallows it and lets out a refreshing sigh. Every now and then, you might want to remember to calm down with a nice cold can of pop star. That way, when you gotta get heated, you won't be so dehydrated. Well, I mean, that is energy drink. Anyways. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like one? No thanks. I quit a while back now. So Shock doesn't get his pop star addiction. While some remained in the shadows, others found light. But it was under much better circumstances than before. With a chance to debut her skills, Des practiced hard. Yes, Imwe, I get to sing for everyone. I wrote a song and I'll do my best. But I'm the greatest piano player. That's so cool. I am proud of you. You know, people call my brother stubborn, but he fights for things to help others. Just like he did to help me. Daz smiles, knowing the story of Inouye's adoption. She practices her dance moves while he watches in awe. Wow, Daz, you're really good at that. Not even Clay could pull that move off. Don't forget me when you're a celebrity. She laughs, but she's secretly hopeful. Deep inside, she hopes to impress at the concert. Her piece is somber, showing off her potential, composed from memories from deep inside her heart. I don't think I'll ever forget you, Imwe. Something tells me you're here to stay, but I need to practice now. Is that okay? Of course. Don't even worry about it. I have to go take a trip anyways. I'm picking up the contest winner. Wow, that's pretty exciting stuff. Would you tell him I said hello? Sure, but under one condition. You name it. I want you to teach me how to dance. One day, I'll take over for my brother. I want to be just as famous as you two. The future of many were headed in uncertain directions. However, some were left to embrace their destiny. Arriving in Tokyo, they wanted to protect everyone, but they knew not what grand fate awaited them. Pokemon here, live from Tokyo. Breaking news, folks, a new visitor, the CEO of Armstrong Incorporated. I thank you so much for giving us your time. The viewers will be having lots of questions, especially about the nature of your visit. So, in this timeline, Archeon becomes the CEO. Wait, but did the tragic backstory happen? And if the tragic backstory happened, where's their parents? And this begs an even more important question. Where is Maxime? Unfortunately, that's a secret. You understand what my business is like, but no one should fear for their safety. Words of wisdom if I ever heard them. Tell us, Archeon, about your situation. You are thrust into leadership so fast. Do you have anything to say about that? The viewers wonder about your inheritance, that and the disappearance of your family. He pushes the microphone towards Archeon's face. Archeon pulls back, clearly feeling violated. No comment, I'm afraid. There's far too much speculation. I'm just focusing on performing admirably. As mysterious as ever, I see. Very well. I certainly trust you. Armstrong has done so much good. America is much safer in your hands, and soon, maybe Japan will be too. We'll await a more formal announcement. Archeon nods and smiles. Happy he backed off. He wasn't about to reveal the reason he was in Tokyo. It was something he'd announce at a later date. However, he knew Japan would love what he had to say. The debut of the World Tour came closer and closer, and on the best day of his life, Kilo arrived. But this time around, he was more than a new man. Winning this contest gave him a large sense of hope. Are you sure you don't need any help? Please tell me it's no trouble at all. Why does he still have a tablet? I'd hate for you to hurt yourself, Kilo. Oh, no, please don't worry. I've been through much worse, trust me. This is the best I've felt in years. He coughs, placing a hand over his mouth. He carries with him a device that assists his breathing. Had things been any other way, Kilo would be bedridden, but winning this contest meant the world to him. You really should have brought a guardian. Did you say you had a twin brother? I'm really worried for your safety, Kilo. Please don't call on me, Rook. And yeah, I do have a brother. He was even prepared to come for me. I know I'm really sick, but it's okay. I'll make sure not to cause any trouble. This will be the best year of my whole life. Rook smiles and leads Kilo to the exit. He had an ever-watchful eye on this sickly friend. He'd guaranteed both his safety and his fun. Deep down inside, this feels familiar to him. Well then, you ready for some fun? Please even got you a limo. We'll be going on tour in style, Kilo. Wow, that's fantastic. You really did that for me? I can't wait to thank him in person. He coughed some more at his overexcitement, but he knew he wouldn't be sick for much longer, not with all of this hope and this support. It would play a vital role in his speedy recovery. With everything lined up, it was finally time. Clay stood backstage, trembling in fear. Daz joined him, scared of her big debut. Shock and Rocker, however, enjoyed the shadows. What if they don't like me? I put my heart and soul into this song. I'd be crushed if they didn't applaud. Oh man, I feel the same way. I had some nightmares last night too. After the song, they were just silent. That's horrible. Just play up the crowd, Daz. Tell them how good they are. Say you love all of them. Do I say Tokyo is the best city ever? Only if you want to be cliche. But I guess we're no stranger to those. It's old-fashioned, but it works. You're singing a slower song, right? Ask him to take out the lighters. It's great to unite the audience. Yeah, it's a slower song. I hope I don't ruin your energy. Wouldn't worry about it, Daz. I'm retiring after this tour anyways. Wait, what? This is your chance to prove yourself. Retiring? Oh, you must be hearing things. I didn't say anything of the sort. Anyways, I think we'll call us out soon. I'm so nervous. Clace places his hand on Daz's shoulder. He recalls when he was in her exact situation, but in the end, everything worked out. They'd laugh at this anxiety when it was over. Listen, Daz, everything will be fine. I've heard your voice, it's beautiful. Now let's go sing our hearts out. It took until the end of the game, but we finally got to see Clace. When their names were called, they ran out on stage. The crowd was pumped, applauding almost immediately. They went on to give the performance for the ages. For once, everything was perfect in their lives. They'd never know the true cost of that perfection. Or would they? The World Tour went on to launch with a big bang. Oh, we got an end theme. It was talked about for the years to come, breaking records. But true to his word, Clace retired when it was over. However, he remained in the industry he loved. He continued to tour with Daz as she performed, all while teaching his brother Inway how to sing. With Daz's dancing lessons, he was sure to succeed. Singe went on to manage idols for the rest of his days. After Clace, it was Daz, and it never ended. He was devoted to the business well into his old age. However, one day, that old age got the better of him. Behind a legacy in the entertainment industry, he'd never be directly remembered for any of it. To the world, he was the man behind the curtain, but he loved the piece, and was fine with that. Shock and Rocker wouldn't always remain in the back. When Clace retired, they started their own careers. Their popularity would even surpass some pop idols, and until they retired, wow, my stream's just really being sketchy right now. I don't know what's going on here, but it keeps telling me the stream's offline. Okay, no, there it goes. I think it's just my phone not catching up with everything. Daz lived up to the bargain, teaching Inway how to dance. When Clace retired, Inway was already well trained. It only seemed natural that he'd follow his brother. Becoming a pop idol, he also toured the world. After Singe's passing, he needed to make a change. He set his eyes on managing, and took Singe's place. How else could he repay the man he saw as a father? He maintained a legacy he worked so hard to create. Fukumoto quickly gained popularity for his unique style. Eventually, he was offered a job with a huge network. Moving to America, he pursued his biggest dream, and he never again resorted to tabloid journalism. Archeon was in Tokyo to test a new product, as a way to subdue without any chance of harm. Armstrong Incorporated became a fortress of thieves, and it would never again use death as a tool. It was a plot before the PC gave Earth, which both do, he sets his sight even higher. One day, fate took him in a drastically new direction, and from that day on, he was never seen again. I wonder. Rook and Jade's love blossomed as they toured the world. Each new stop brought several romantic hotspots. They served Singe loyally until his fateful passing. After that, they wed into a life of peace. I ship it. After Clace retired, Daz took the spotlight. She was the best idol to beat, gaining a massive following. Oh, she was the idol to beat, sorry. World tour after world tour, she kept the momentum. Platinum records and a lifetime of glory awaited her. But she knew that this was mostly thanks to Clace. His decision to step down actually raised her up. She'd be forever thankful for what he had done. And they remained friends for the rest of their lives. Kilo's hope was renewed, and he was as happy as ever. After the tour ended, he remained friends with everyone. He beat his illness and lived a long, happy life. Him and his brother Eddie were henceforth inseparable. They founded several charity organizations together. No one would ever have to suffer like Kilo did. At least, that was their end goal in life. And over time, they helped find many cures. Earth would remain isolated for a long time to come. They didn't have the technology to join the galaxy, but it's never stopped them from living happily. And for the rest of its existence, Earth was peaceful. Oh, it started the instrumental version. Is that it? Oh, I don't know how I saw all of this, to be honest. As far as I know, I was supposed to be dead, but I smiled as I saw the future I left behind. It seemed in the end everyone was happy. Is that it? That's it. Oh my god, that's the end of the game. Wow, what a trip. I mean, yeah, what a freaking trip. I did not expect this. I thought it was gonna be this. I'm gonna be honest. I thought it was gonna be the stupidest damn thing I ever played. I thought it was gonna be this cliche-ridden wannabe anime game that was, you know, I thought I was gonna keep making fun of everybody. And then episode 2, I think it was episode 2, yeah, stream 2, kind of just got my attention, made me wonder some, and I kept playing, and wow. I mean, my only major problem is the pacing. The pacing, you know, for your next game, please, make the pacing just better, please. Oh wait, cast the characters. Conrad belongs to Kano Rin. Archeron belongs to Chris Mahorla. Arcane the Fox at FA. Fukumoto belongs to Jean-Luc Dillon Crawford. Kayleen belongs to Mazahart Bretheron. Anyone belongs to William Ravenald. Unway belongs to Michael Gange. Kabu belongs to Rufus Carlson. Kilo belongs to Eddie Regula. Lacio belongs to Ruben Gasalili. PB belongs to Nikki Machiavelli. Fidget belongs to Timothy Schruck. Claire belongs to Joshua Claire. I like that. Rio belongs to Rio. Righty belongs to Eric Concha Jr. Riley belongs to Josh Spear. Rucker belongs to Jason Grunwell. Rook belongs to Mac Rook Sauter. Sam belongs to Lance Elliott. Dusk belongs to Ryan Rink. Shock belongs to Colin Cameron. Singe belongs to Dave Goblish. Velasquez belongs to Joseph Voskamp. And I want to thank everybody for lending your characters to this game, because I loved your characters in this game, what you gonna say. Oh, special thanks. I want to thank all the investors that made this a reality. Your characters will live on forever in my heart. I also want to thank everybody who gave feedback. This game would not be what it is without you. I lastly want to thank you, the player. You supported my dream to continue creating games. This game is dedicated to all of you. And they say the man is attention oriented. And an egotistical dude. Come on. Well, I want to see what you pull out of your hat for the next game. The manager's been talking to me about when's the change and I should play it, and it seems like it's going to be exciting. And I guess that's it. But I'm a suspicious Fennec. I'm going to wait till we get to the title screen again. I didn't expect the pop songs at the end either. That was nice. Do I have to wait for the song to end, or? Wait, is that it? Was I wrong? Oh, nope. It's fading away. Oh, okay. I think we're in for something. Oh, we got a stinger. We got a sequel hook. Let's see what it is. Trying to set up for a new Marvel franchise? I tremble. My entire body is overwhelmed with sensation. I have no idea what just happened or where I am. I pant heavily and take in my surroundings. It's a terminus, but was it on a crash course? Sup? It's his. Hey there, Russ. I wonder what the creator of this guy would think. Like, I should find him. I should tell the manager to find him on Twitter and be like, so whenever your character appeared in Major Minor, he made a reference to epic rap battles of history. I'm so glad to see you awake. When you blacked out, I feared for the worst. Ryu stands before me and offers his hand. I take it without hesitation and he helps me stand. I look out the window of the bridge, astonished. There are billions of stars shining together. Look at all those worlds, Razzle. It was you who gave them life again, connected to live in harmony forever. He smiles as he walks towards the window. I press my hand against it, looking at what I did. I changed reality. I united the entire galaxy, but for some reason, I saw the future of everything. I expected as much. Your sight has been twisted. No longer limited to 2 worlds. You can view the entire galaxy, both its current and future state. Just think of what we're capable of. Maybe we should go get everybody. It might be a good time. It might be good to have some company. And honestly, I grew fond of them all. I'm not sure how to respond to that. I mean, we did go through a lot together. But the future I witnessed was so happy. If I changed things up, it could cause tragedy. Besides, I'm not even sure if they would remember me. So much has changed. I wasn't on any of their minds. If I wanted to recruit them, they'd call us insane. Rather than acknowledging my fear, he gives me a gift. The 2 blades merged into one. But it looks different, don't you think? Like its source of power has changed. It's the sword I held earlier, but purified. Instead of black and red, it's colored differently. Now it wears a radiant white and a beautiful gold. I feel like it could be a source of good in the galaxy. We got lots of exploring to do, and we can continue changing history, but it'd be nice to do it with friends. So tell me, what should we do? Should we get the group back together, or should we leave things as they are? I think long and hard before I answer Rayo. It seems I held the future of everyone in my hands, and it was time for me to decide what happened next. Let's do it. Well then, this will certainly be fun. Razzle, we have lots to talk about. Luckily, I know where we can waste time. Soon, I felt an all too familiar sensation. I embrace it, filled with joy that I survived, and filled with wonder at this galaxy's potential. Uh-oh, what is that? Way to send your game out with a bang. I have to applaud that. That was pretty good. I'm glad I stuck around. No, I really am. And I really hope that the next game is better with the storytelling. Just the pacing. The pacing is what really killed it for me. But I mean, I liked the characters, I liked the plot, I liked a lot of things in the game. It was pretty good. So, alright, I will eat my hat. I will eat my scarf, my yellow scarf, that you have made a convert out of me. So, neener all you want towards me. If you're even watching this. I'll have my manager send something for you in my stead. Oh. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for good. Yeah, there we go. We're back at the title screen. I actually threw up the the splash screen that I was using for the pre-stream. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That was Major Minor. Oh, wow. It took forever to get through, but again, I'm glad I stuck around. So, when's it change next? The demo's already out for it, so I'll be downloading that, and I'll probably stream that, because why not? I'll stream it, because why? I feel like it. So, to all the fellow Dazzlers and newcomers alike that have been with me to the end of this journey, thank you very much. Remember, whack that subscribe button if you want to see more furry nonsense and arcade madness. We will be getting some arcade videos out soon, I hope. But until then, I enjoyed the game. So, my name is Russell Joestar, and I will see you guys all on the next game. Take care, everybody.